Welcome to Seneca Indians Baseball, live on KNEO.org. This broadcast is a sporting outreach of the KNEO Sports Network. You're now locked into the official pregame show of the Seneca Indians. Now, let's go to Ben Walcott, live on location.
And a pleasant good afternoon, and we welcome you here to Seneca, Missouri, as we get set for high school baseball here on the KNEO and Seneca Indian Sports Network. It is the 8-9 Aurora Hound Dogs, 3-2 in Big 8 play, versus the 14-5 Seneca Indians, also 3-2 in Big 8 play. I'm Ben Wolcott, joined by Coach Daryl Harbaugh, your countdown to first pitch sponsor, People's Bank of Seneca. And Daryl, kind of just like Tuesday, a very important game here this afternoon. Big 8-wise, also district-wise, the winner of this game probably has the inside track to that 1 seed because both teams have a win over Monette. East Newton has a win over East Newton as well. Seneca leading that East Newton game 5-0 when it got suspended. That game actually will be finished up next Wednesday, May 7th, with the start time of 4:30 at East Newton. So we'll have the conclusion of that one as well. But you know, this one here this afternoon will probably go a long ways into deciding who's the number 1 seed in district play.
Yeah, that's Aurora's had a good season, and Seneca's had a decent season, and you know, anytime you have a district win over an opponent, you know, district opponent, it's huge. I mean, it makes a big difference, especially when you're sitting in that meeting. I mean, your record may be better, but hey, head-to-head means a whole lot more.
And this district, other than maybe Seneca, is really jumbled up. Seneca 14-5 overall. East Newton 10-7-1. Monette is 8-8 overall. Aurora's 8-9 overall. Cassville is 5-8-1 overall. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. You know, and it's hard to believe, Daryl, but we are getting very close to senior night as well. This is one of 3 remaining home games for the Indians. If you're lucky enough, I think sectionals would be here if you're lucky enough to win the district quarterfinal. It would just depend on who wins the other quarterfinal, if you get a second home game or not. But, you know, for those 6 seniors plus Jackson Stevens, you're winding down your career here in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, it goes by. It's amazing how fast it goes by. I mean, you get a lot of ball games in. You got 2 or 3 a week, and all this going on, and you're thinking I don't know. You think it's not this lasts forever. You know, games all the time, and then all of a sudden, you look around. There's a week left. I'm like, are you kidding me? And that's it. There's a few seniors on this team that's been sitting out there ever since they were freshmen.
Yeah,
playing here. So it's
interesting.
It's going to be an emotional time.
And like we said, after today, 2 weeks left in the regular season. You have next week, and then you have the week after as well. And then you get into postseason play where it's win or your season, and potentially your career is over.
Yeah. It comes down to, you know, you got to play. And here you want to be playing your best. You want to have everything lined up and everything right. You want the pitching in order. You want your batting in order. You want some good reps. And, you know, you want you try to have everything ready for when district comes and everything else.
Go ahead, take a timeout. Come back with more of the preview after this on the KNEO Seneca Indian Sports Network.
People's Bank of Seneca. We care about your journey every step of the way. Since 1996, visit us in Joplin, Neosho, or Seneca. PeoplesBankOfSeneca.com. Member FDIC. Proud sponsor of area athletics. Let's score big together.
If you're a weekend warrior who likes to go, 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 don't let pain put the brakes on your pace. When you need help with an injury that keeps you from moving, you want an orthopedic team with a proven track record. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is nationally recognized and were recently named CareCheck's #1 hospital in the market and top 10% hospital in the state for hip fracture repair. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, the experience you need to keep pace with life.
Prater's Pharmacy in Seneca is a proud supporter of the Seneca Indians. The pharmacy is open from 9 to 5:30 Monday through Friday and from 9 to 1 on Saturday. They offer an automatic refill program and internet refill service online at praterspharmacy.com and through their mobile apps. They also have a drive-through window. Prater's Pharmacy at 1711 Cherokee in Seneca, 417-776-8701. Go Indians!
Seneca Indian Athletics is sponsored by Prairie Top Chiropractic. Located at 4556 Quince Road in Seneca, chiropractic physician Seth Wilson offers chiropractic services to Seneca and the surrounding areas. For appointment information, their phone number is 417-776-4556 or discover more at facebook.com/Prairie Top Chiropractic. Prairie Top Chiropractic, where their slogan is Better Health, Better You.
A proud backer of the Seneca Indians is Campbell Biddlecombe Funeral Home of Seneca. Located at 1101 Cherokee, they are honored to serve the area with traditional service options including church and graveside services. They also have prearranged funeral plans. For more information, the phone number for Funeral Director Mike Steele at Campbell Biddlecombe Funeral Home of Seneca is 417-776-2251 or online campbell-biddlecomefh.com.
The Roper Kia 4-State Sports Report will provide up-to-the-minute scores and highlights from around the 4 states. With ultimate local coverage from all your favorite teams. The Roper Kia 4-State Sports Report, weeknights at 6 and 10 p.m.
Happy Egg supports the family farmer because they've seen the difference a choice like this can make. Now you can grow for Happy Egg and choose to raise hens the right way, the happy way. When you grow for Happy Egg, you're growing for a family-owned and operated business. You're raising happy hens on 10+ acres who will lay happy eggs. You're working for yourself. As a Happy Egg grower, you'll receive new flock cost support and yield-based compensation. Visit happyegg.com/grower to apply today.
And we welcome you back as we get set for action here between Seneca and Aurora here, Daryl. And, it was a suspended game on Tuesday. Got 3 innings done. That game will finish next Wednesday, but does kind of mess up your pitching rotation a little bit as Jagger, 47 pitches, needed a couple days off. He's eligible to pitch again tomorrow, but it'll be interesting to kind of see what Seneca does tomorrow and then next Monday and Tuesday as well, into Wednesday as well.
Yeah, I mean, once you that half game and stuff like that, and then you're trying to make games and you're moving games, it always messes up the pitching rotation. It makes a difference now that there's a pitch count, and you have to go by that. It makes a difference of trying to line everybody up. I know Coach would probably try to like to get through this, what do you want to call it, get through this week and next week and then the 2 on Saturday and see if they can't get things, lined up for the district play.
Yeah, and I mean, you have that Monday after that as well with CJ2, and then you really do have a big break to try and line things up for district, and hopefully you have a long break there if you're able to be the 1, 2, or 3 seed, which with a win here today, you're kind of setting yourself up for that 1 seed.
Well, that's what you want. I mean, you want the 1 seed. You want the little bit of time off so your pitchers can have just a little bit, and you can line everybody up the way you want. You try to line them up the best that you feel like that gives you the best chance to win, and that's all you can do.
Your starting lineups here today, sponsored by Prairie Top Chiropractic and Prater's Pharmacy. First for the visiting Aurora Hound Dogs, coming in 8-9 overall, 3-2 in Big 8 play. Leading off is the first baseman, number 9, Sean Creasy. Batting second is the center fielder, number 22, Memphis Mooneyham. Batting third and playing third base, number 11, Max Holland. The cleanup hitter is the pitcher, number 6, Jaden Carpenter. Batting fifth and playing second base, number 4, Caden Cole. Batting sixth is the designated hitter, number 7, Carson Gillum. Batting seventh and playing catching, number 5, Brennan Diaz. Batting 8th and playing right field, number 1, Brody Seitz. And batting 9th and playing shortstop, number 8, Kason Brown. The extra player for Aurora is their left fielder, number 10, Juan Guido. Now the starting lineup for the Seneca Indians coming in at 14-5 overall, 3-2 in Big 8 play. Leading off is the pitcher, number 18, Drew Sherwood. Batting second is the shortstop, number 13, Jagger Wilson. The batting third and doing the catching, number 2, Silas Ball. The cleanup hitter is the first baseman, number 21, Hagen Ginger. Batting fifth and playing third base, number 8, Grant Houchin. Batting sixth and playing left field, number 17, Ian Heffron. Batting seventh is the designated hitter, number 19, Asher Prater. Batting eighth and playing second base, number 5, Braden Roark. And batting ninth and playing center field, number 33, Caden Klaus. Extra player is the right fielder, number 25, Ryan Owens. And Daryl, once again, just kind of mismatching things around, trying to see if they can find something that they're comfortable with in their lineup.
Yeah, absolutely. You just try to make like I said, they've changed it up a little bit. They've switched things around a little bit sometimes. So it's about trying to find the right combination at the right time. Some kids get hot, some kids, struggling, and you're just trying to find the right combination to get that timely hit. I mean, that's what it boils down to. You know as well as I do. We've seen it out here. Even the East Newton game, we had kids in scoring position, and we just couldn't get that timely hit going. And it's they struggling sometimes at the plate, and like I said, you're just trying to get things worked out where you thought you'd have the best chance.
The pitching staff has kept the Seneca team in every game, and that includes Hagen Ginger, Ian Heffron as well. You have the three-headed monster of Drew Sherwood, Grant Houchin, and Jagger Wilson, but Ian Heffron has done a good job this year, and then Hagen Ginger has come in and done a good job as well. They're only averaging giving up 2.74 runs a game, and that's very going to lead you to win a lot of baseball games, especially once you get to postseason play when things tighten up on you.
If you can play defense behind them, that's the key. I mean, I don't care who's up on the mound. They're going to hit the baseball. The other teams, they got good players too. They're going to hit the baseball as well. But you've got to make the right plays behind them. And that means cutting it off with what we've seen the other day. Kids cut it off. They cut the, instead of letting it go up in the gap, they got it cut off and thrown in right quick. Maybe held them to a double instead of a triple. Hold them to a single. Hit the cutoff, man, which holds them to a single and not a double, and not letting them travel. It's the little bitty things that give you an opportunity to win.
Seneca had lost 3 of 4 at one point in the year. They have won 3 straight, Daryl, and those are some pretty good wins. A 1-0 win over Monette, a 16-6 win over Purdy, and a 3-0 win over Diamond. So those are 3 pretty good wins if you're Seneca. You
even look at the losses there, that 3 out of 4 we lost. You give up 4 runs at the most.
Yeah, each game, yeah.
Well, 4 runs. We just couldn't get the timely hits and couldn't get the hit. I mean, if you can't, 4 runs in a high school game, only giving up 4 runs, that's not bad. You can't get the hits to get 4 runs. I mean, you're going to struggle and you're going to lose some games.
I mean, you look at this season for Seneca, the most runs that Seneca has given up in a game is 8, which is unheard of for most teams. Yes, they've lost 5, but one of them was 8-6, and I think that was the game that they had a 4-2 lead going into the 7th inning.
I think they gave up 5 runs or something like that in 1 inning. It's just they haven't had that many what you want to call snowball effect games where bad things happen and just keeps on going. They haven't had that many. They've limited the errors and they've limited the walks, and the pitchers are pitching a little bit better, and the field guys behind them are making more plays more consistently, and that gives them a chance to win. What makes them win is if we can get the hits.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, in those 3 innings against East Newton, they had potential for more, but in 3 innings they stranded 6 base runners, and so that's kind of one of the problems that Seneca's trying to go through.
Yeah, that's like I said, we've got them on base. We just get the timely hit going on.
I mean, Aurora, you look at this Aurora team, Daryl. This Aurora team really confuses me because they have one of the best wins in the Big 8 because they have a 16-1 win over Monette, But they also have one of the more confusing losses in the Big 8 because they lost 7-5 to McDonald County.
One of two McDonald County wins. I mean, anybody can beat anybody time. You have a bad game, you're not playing well, you make mistakes, you're making errors, you're allowing the other team to, have a couple big innings. It's going to be tough. It's tough on you. And Aurora's no different than any other team.
You look at these two teams, like we said, this Seneca team 9-2 at home. They average 5.7 runs while giving up about 2.75. Aurora averages about 7 runs a game while giving up 5.5. Seneca 9-2 at home. Aurora 1-4 on the road. Seneca has won the last 4 matchups here, and that's really since the Big 8 has kind of went back to its roots from East and West back to just the regular Big 8, because before that it was 2018 since they had last faced each other. That was the last time Aurora had beaten the Seneca team. Districts, once again, will be coming middle of May, so we're about 2-3 weeks probably away from district play. Districts at Monette this year, and Seneca had 1 game at Monette, so they'll be used to the park at that point. I know it was a long time ago, but it's always...
But 1 day, 2 games.
Yeah, okay.
On tournament.
And so, but they should be used to that park once they get to district play. It's nice to have a game at that park before district play starts.
They kept the grass field, but they have a turf infield, but they kept the grass outfield. So the balls hit out in the field don't travel as far as what you do on turf. So the little things that you've got to do as far as when you're an outfielder, it changes, and when you're an infielder, it changes. So it's good to them to already have a couple.
Be interesting to see what happens here over the next 2 weeks as we get set for action here this afternoon. Take another time out. Come back with more after this. The KNEO and Seneca Indian Sports Network.
The Seneca R7 School District is proud to support the student athletes and coaches competing in this game. High school activities help students learn life values such as hard work, dedication, and teamwork. The Seneca R7 School District is honored to serve such a great community and wants to thank all the Indian fans for their great support. The Seneca R7 School District. Tradition, pride, class.
KNEO would like to thank the Big Nickel for sponsoring this portion of broadcasting on 91.7 FM. The Big Nickel is an advertising shopper for thousands of different items, from automobiles and livestock to help wanted and real estate. It covers a 70-mile radius in the 4-state area and is available in area businesses each week. Located at 1931 East 20th Street, Suite 103 in Joplin, Missouri. Their telephone number is 417-624-4100.
Huddle Springs Church of Christ is bringing you today's ball game. They're a family-friendly church located just a few miles outside Seneca at 19306 Huddle Springs Road. With Sunday morning and evening worship services as well as midweek services on Wednesdays, check out HuddleSpringsChurchofChrist.org for more information about all the classes and fellowships they offer throughout the week. Huddle Springs Church of Christ, where they say, "We want to go to heaven with you."
A proud supporter of local high school athletics is Numac Electric. Serving Newton and McDonald County, they provide power for area homes and businesses and want to wish all the athletes much success throughout the season. For online bill pay and account information, the website is numac.com or 417-451-1515. Numac Electric, proudly serving Newton and McDonald County, where their slogan is your touchstone energy partner.
Hi, I'm Pastor Rod Van Gorkum of First Baptist Church Seneca, and I would like to take a minute and share about grace. What is grace? Grace is when someone gives you something you don't deserve. See, I haven't done anything to deserve God's forgiveness, but He gives it by His grace. I haven't done anything to deserve God's love, but He gives it by His grace. I haven't done anything to deserve a bright future, but God gives away to me and to others by his grace. The Apostle Paul wrote in the book of Titus, chapter 2, verse 11, "For the grace of God hath appeared, bringing salvation to all men." Have you accepted God's gift of grace, his salvation through his Son, Jesus Christ? If not, please do, for the Bible says today is the day of salvation. For KNEO Radio, I'm Rod Van Gorkum.
And we welcome you back. Once again, your countdown to first pitch sponsor, People's Bank of Seneca. And Daryl, after the last couple of days and all the rain we have gotten in the 4 states, it has turned out to be an absolutely gorgeous day here in southwest Missouri.
Oh, a beautiful day. I mean, just, a few puffy clouds in there, and I think they're calling for some rain in the morning. But at least we get one day, after some pretty good rain the last couple of days, we get one good rain day, or one good day without rain. Let it dry up a little bit. I mean, my front yard actually didn't have water standing in it for the first time for a while. So, yeah, it's nice.
And you look at it as well, Daryl. Saturday looks like it's supposed to be nice. Monday looks like it's supposed to be nice as well. So it should be.
And cooler, too, because night temperatures are down in the 40s for May.
Well, as Seneca and Aurora get set for action here, Daryl. And, again, like we've been saying all along, it should be a fun one here this afternoon between two teams that should be a fun one here this afternoon. And this Aurora team, Aurora got hit pretty hard by that tornado and or storm.
Prater's Pharmacy in Seneca is a proud...
You just try and hopefully let them forget about things, and sports are a good way of doing that here. So hopefully it's a little bit of a good distraction for these Aurora players over these next couple of days, because they haven't been in its good school the past couple of days.
Yeah, I think Monad and Aurora right down 60 Highway got hit pretty hard, and I don't think Aurora's been in, or Monad's been in school. Aurora hasn't been into school. Things got tore up a little bit. They had a pretty good little tornado, pretty good storm, even south of Neosho and just south of Seneca. It was tore up pretty good. So anyway, they got it's good. It's just a good different atmosphere to come out and get away from everything over there.
As they were supposed to play Tuesday at Nevada, that game obviously got rained out. I don't know if they were supposed to go to Nevada or if Nevada was supposed to go to them. It really doesn't matter because they were without power, even if it was supposed to be at home. So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah. The rain. Everybody's got to make everything up. So and that you're always trying to readjust your pitchers and who's pitching and where they're pitching. So anyway, they'll get it all figured out.
We'll go ahead and take a time out for the national anthem. Come back with the start of the game after this on the KNEO and Seneca Indian Sports Network.
There's no denying that watching a church service while you're sitting on the couch in your sweats with a cup of coffee is pretty nice. As comfortable as that can be, though, it's just not the same as attending church in person with other followers of Jesus Christ.
The Christian fellowship is not optional, it's essential. It's commanded.
Billy Graham.
We are not to forsake the assembling of ourselves together. The Bible teaches that the church is like a vine with its many branches, members of the body of Christ all knit together. The church is to worship together. God has commanded it, and I want to tell you, you cannot live a victorious Christian life and have the peace and the joy in your heart without faithfulness in the church.
Want to know more about the importance of worshiping with others in person? Go to findpeacewithgod.net. Click on Grow in Your Christian Faith. That's findpeacewithgod.net from the Billy Graham Evangelistic Association.
People's Bank of Seneca. We care about your journey every step of the way. Since 1996, visit us in Joplin, Neosho, or Seneca. PeoplesBankOfSeneca.com. Member FDIC. Proud sponsor of area athletics. Let's score big together.
Prater's Pharmacy in Seneca is a proud supporter of the Seneca Indians. The pharmacy is open from 9 to 5:30 Monday through Friday and from 9 to 1 on Saturday. They offer an automatic refill program and internet refill service online at praterspharmacy.com and through their mobile apps. They also have a drive-through window. Prater's Pharmacy at 1711 Cherokee in Seneca, 417-776-8701. Go Indians!
Locally owned, operated, and here for you. Check out the new face of the Neosho Daily News, covering Newton County, highlighting area residents, businesses, school news, sports, and more. Find us on Facebook at Neosho Daily News or call 417-451-1520. Go get 'em, Indians!
And we welcome you back as Seneca and Aurora get set for action here this afternoon. Aurora in the all-black uniforms, black pants, black tops, white trim, and white numbers. Seneca, the exact opposite, the all-whites with white trim, white pants, with blue trim and blue numbers here this afternoon. Aurora looks like this. Once again, your starting lineup sponsored by Prairie Top Chiropractic and Prater's Pharmacy. Aurora looks like this in their batting lineup. Sean Creasy leads things off. Memphis Mooneyham batting second. Max Holland batting third. Cleanup hitter is Jaden Carpenter. Batting fifth is Caden Cole. Sixth is Carson Gillum. Seventh is Brennan Diaz. Eighth is Brody Seitz. And ninth is Kason Brown. They will be facing Drew Sherwood. And Drew has kind of been the ace of this Seneca staff here lately, as he pitched against Galena, gave up 2 unearned runs last week, then finished off the week against Diamond, not giving up a run. And I don't know that he has a loss on the year so far.
Well, here's the thing about Drew. What Drew does is he makes it hard for them to steal. If they do get base hits, I mean, he's given up some base hits and men on scoring position, but if they do get on, he makes it very difficult for them to steal because he has a good move to first base and he keeps everybody honest.
Yeah,
and it's tough.
He has picked off a lot of opposing base runners. Seneca will look like this behind Drew. Ian Heffron in left, Caden Klaus in center, Ryan Owens in right, Grant Houchin at third, Jagger Wilson at short, Braden Roark at second, and Hagen Ginger at first, with Silas Ball catching Drew here this afternoon. First pitch, 4:33, 72 degrees as that pitch is outside on Sean Creasy, so the count is 1-0. Creasy, Mooneyham, and Holland are the first 3 due up here against Sherwood. As that 1-0 pitch is hit a mile high in the air, and that is deep, and Klaus has it bounce up against the wall, and it is a leadoff triple for Sean Creasy. That ball was hit high and far.
That was tagged. He tagged that long and deep.
As Memphis Mooneyham will come to the plate now for Aurora. And the thing that has worked well for Seneca these past 3 games is they have scored first. And it's going to be tough for Drew to keep this one scoreless.
Yeah, it's tough after the leadoff triple.
So that first pitch is high. And the count is 1-0. Newmac Electric, Prater's Pharmacy, Prelude Maintenance Center, Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine all sponsoring the broadcast. So that 1-0 is spoiled foul out of play, and the count is 1-1. Nobody out here, just getting things underway in Seneca. As here comes the 1-1 from Sherwood. 1-1 is just outside, and the count now is 2-1. And Seneca is willing to give up a run for an out as everybody playing back. Houchin about even with the bag as that 1-1 is popped in the air. That's going to be a tough play, but Jagger Wilson is able to grab the pop-up out there in short left field. And there's 1 out now for Max Holland, and that's about as good as what you can ask for with a runner on third.
To keep him at third, it's going to be tough to get away with this, get through the inning without a run scored from Aurora on a leadoff triple. But it's happened. I mean, we throw strikes and make plays, and if you can get them to pop up, that's one thing. That always helps.
So here comes the first pitch to Holland, and that is inside apparently. I wonder if Ball not being able to catch that kind of affected it, because it certainly looked like a strike.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it dipped low or something on him.
Maybe inside as well. As here comes the 1-0 to Holland. That's swung on and missed on the high fastball, and the count is 1 ball and 1 strike.
I know he's trying to hit a high fly ball out there and the outfield somewhere to score a run. That's what he's trying to do.
So 1-1 is over for a strike, and the count is 1-2. And a strikeout would be big here for Sherwood. And I think what the fielders like about Drew is just how fast he works. As here comes the 1-2, and that fastball is high and outside, so the count's 2-2. But he gets the ball and works very quickly.
Yeah, that's Silas's job, is to get the ball back to him and let him work, and it keeps the infielders and outfielders engaged.
So here comes the 2-2, and that fastball is hit down the right field line, and it's going to be a fair ball. It's an RBI single for Max Holland on the 2-2 pitch, and Aurora draws first blood.
And just a bloop over the first baseman, over Hagan, and just short enough where Ryan Owens couldn't get to it. It's just, I don't know, not a very good hit, but it slapped out there anyway.
As it is 1-0 here for Aurora. As Jaden Carpenter will come to the plate. He's doing the pitching here this afternoon for Aurora, and this is where Drew shines the most, as they're going to try and steal off him. A good throw, and he is out on the play. It's a 2-6 put out, and the count is 1-0 on Carpenter, but Aurora runs themselves out of potentially a bigger inning.
Well, and that's one thing, is you cannot take a big lead off against Drew, or he's going to throw you. He's going to pick you off.
The 1-0 is in there for a strike on a swing, and the count's 1-1.
And a good throw from Silas that time, right on the money.
Campbell Biddicombe Funeral Home, Big Nickel, Missouri Southern State University, and Prairie Top Chiropractic, all sponsoring the broadcast. That one out to Owens, and Owens did not have to move very far to snag it to end the inning. For Aurora, 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, nobody left. Half inning in the books. It's Aurora 1, Seneca coming up here on the KNEO and Seneca Indian Sports Network.
The Oxford Dictionary defines mercy as compassion or forgiveness shown towards someone who should rightfully be punished. Billy Graham talked about the mercy that freed him from a punishment he deserved.
I deserve the wrath of God. I'm a sinner. I deserve judgment in hell, but I'm not going to spend one day in hell. Not because I have preached to people, or because I've read the Bible, or because I go to church.
But if it's not good works that spare us from punishment, what does?
Jesus was enduring the wrath of God that you and I deserve. It's because of Jesus on the cross.
Now, it's up to you to accept the mercy that Jesus Christ offers. He's alive today, and you can know him personally, and we can help. Call us at 855-255-PRAY. 855-255-PRAY. We're the Billy Graham Evangelistic Association.
Dairy Queen Grill and Chill in Seneca is the place to go before or after the game. Check out their amazing menu of fan-favorite blizzards like Oreo or cookie dough. Happy hour is daily from 2 to 5 p.m. That means everything you can drink from a straw is half price, excluding premium shakes. Don't forget to grab one of their $7 meal deals or their signature stack burgers and top it off with a Misty Slush. The Dairy Queen Grill and Chill in Seneca, located at 308 Washington, open daily from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Proud to support the Seneca Indians.
And we welcome you back as Seneca comes to the plate down 1-0. Drew Sherwood, Jagger Wilson, and Silas Ball are the 3 due up. Anybody who reaches, Hagan Ginger would come to the plate. He's the cleanup hitter. Grant Houchin batting 5th, Ian Heffron 6th, Asher Prater 7th, Braden Roark 8th, and Caden Klaus 9th, as they will be working against Jaden Carpenter for Aurora, as he will have behind him left to right in the outfield, Juan Guido, and left. In center is Memphis Mooneyham, and in right is Brody Seitz. Left to right in the infield, you have Max Holland at third. At shortstop is Kason Brown. At second is Caden Cole, and at first is Sean Creasy, with Brennan Diaz catching Jaden Carpenter here this afternoon. As Drew Sherwood digs in, Sherwood scored the game-winning run in Seneca's 1-0 win over Monette So he was directly involved in 3 of the wins last week, 3 of the 4 wins that they had. As that first pitch hits the outside corner and the count's 0-1.
Playing him just a little bit, shading him to the left center, or the center fielder is just on the left side of the second base.
As here comes the 0-1, and that is low, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike. Lighthouse Tax Services, Dairy Queen of Seneca, First Community Bank, Cedar Lane Farm and Garden, Northwest Arkansas Naturals, all sponsoring the broadcast here this afternoon. 1-1 the count here on Sherwood.
What you got, Drew is very patient at the plate, and he makes the pitcher work.
1-1 hits the outside corner, and the count now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Now you have to protect here if you're Sherwood. As here comes the 1-2 from Carpenter. That 1-2 is high and outside, and the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Like you said, making him work early. And as a leadoff hitter, that's what you need to do to try and give the rest of your cohorts a good look at him, too.
Yeah, that wasn't very far from where he was throwing it.
So here comes the 2-2, and that's got to be high. It was definitely over the plate, but the only thing it could have been was high.
That's the only place it could have been was high. I don't know. That pitch let it look better than the first 2 he called strikes.
Yeah. Full count here on Sherwood, as here comes the full count offering, and the 3-2 is even higher for ball 4. Leadoff walk, and with Sherwood's speed, don't be surprised if he takes off for second very quickly.
Yeah, he's quick. Like I said, they put a lot of pressure. These 3 guys up here front, even Houchin and Hagan especially, probably the most aggressive base runner we have.
Ginger, 29 steals. He's 7 away from tying the single season record. 8 away from having it to himself.
And Sherwood's out.
So that breaking ball is outside, and the count's 1-0.
Yeah, I mean that looked like the first 2 that he called strikes on Sherwood, and to me they looked outside.
Yeah. I mean, it looks outside. Oh, they throw behind Sherwood. If that wasn't in the dirt, Darryl, they had him.
They might have. I mean, I don't know if you're paying attention, but he's trying to take an extra step off that plate or off base just a little bit further than he did the first time. Because I guarantee he's thinking about running right now.
Here comes the 1-0, and Wilson taking the entire way. That's in there for a strike, but in safely as Sherwood at second with the stolen base. So a runner in scoring position for the Indians and a 1-1 count.
Yeah, I mean, you could tell that's the reason he almost got picked off, because he's trying to take that extra step over there off first. But you can tell he's wanting to get down there. That's Jagger. Let's see if Jagger can get a base hit and get things going.
1-1 the count here on Wilson. And now he's trying to bunt, and that is a beautiful bunt.
Great bunt.
That is an infield single for Wilson, and runners are at first and third for Silas Ball.
That was a beautiful bunt. That's the way to get things going. And there was no one there. They didn't have anybody. The third baseman scared to death. Drew was coming, and he didn't move. And first pitch, by the time the pitcher got over, Jagger was already at first base.
And don't be surprised if Wilson tries to take second within the first pitch or two.
Especially if they throw the first pitch ball, or he may just take off on the first pitch.
So he is off on that first pitch, and they do not bother throwing it. So 2 runners in scoring position for Seneca. The pitch was in there for a strike, so the count is 0-1.
You got to get – we got him in scoring position, Ben, no outs.
And the heart of the order due up.
Can we get a timely hit and get some runs in?
And Seneca, at least Aurora, looks like they're trying to get the run out at home as that ball's in the dirt. Good block there by the catcher.
Yes.
Diaz. Can't read my own handwriting sometimes. It's a detriment to myself.
Don't ask me to read it.
1-1 the count, but the first and third basemen are crashing like they're expecting a suicide squeeze.
They may be trying to go home to try to keep the run. I don't know.
The 1-1 is hit down that first baseline foul, and a nice play there by Coach Dave Sherwood.
Yeah.
He's got us Hagen's and not Hagen's, Jagger and potentially Drew's armor over there, and still made the play with both hands full. But 1-2 the count here on ball.
He's working on a Golden Glove, season. That's what he's working on. No errors.
As here comes the 1-2, and that is inside, maybe low as well, and the count is 2-2. So far early on, this is a interesting strike zone.
Catcher was set up way outside, and the pitch came way inside. I don't know if it fooled the umpire or fooled the pitcher or catcher. I don't know. So he's setting up outside now.
As here comes the 2-2 to ball. That pitch is yanked down third, and they are going home, and Sherwood is out. And I think that's one that Drew probably needs to pay attention a little bit more, because it was a 5-2 putout, and he was a sitting duck there. You kind of just need to know that where he's playing, that you're not going to get home. And don't be surprised if ball tries to take second here, get runners at second and third again.
I don't know about Silas. I don't think he has quite the speed. He's quicker than what you think, but that's just hitting no man's. I mean, Drew's already coming.
So that first pitch is high to Ginger, and the count's 1-0.
And Drew was already off, and third baseman wasn't very far off the line. I'm not sure Drew could even make it back without getting tagged. So you just got to take the chance.
1-0 the count here on Ginger. As here comes the 1-0, and that hits the outside corner, and the count's 1-1. People's Bank of Seneca, Crowder College, Christian Healthcare Ministry, Seneca School District, all sponsoring the broadcast here this afternoon. Basically playing Ginger straight up. You got the alleys pretty well open if you can find a gap.
If you can find it. He's got to find it, though. He's got to hit the baseball.
1-1 is swung on and missed, but the pitch gets underneath the catcher Diaz's glove. It's a passed ball that allows Jagger Wilson to score, and I think, Daryl, that's more a passed ball than a wild pitch.
Oh, yeah, that was a strike because Hagen swung at it, and the catcher just missed it. I thought maybe Hagen tipped it at the first, but the catcher just missed it, went off his glove and underneath his legs and all the way to the backstop.
So 1-2 the count here on Ginger, but a run in and a runner in scoring position. Unfortunately for Carpenter, as that pitch is yanked up the middle for a single, as Ball wasn't able to read that correctly enough, and it's a single, but Ball kind of went back towards second, so runners are at first and third, but Ginger will be off within a pitch or two for his 30th stolen base. That's the goal.
He may be off before the pitch. He's such an aggressive kid out there on the base running, so don't be surprised if he ain't stealing before they even throw it.
And you got to know Aurora probably knows that already, too.
Yeah, they know it. They scouted. He's out there.
And he is off on that first pitch, and he is in there safely with his 30th stolen base.
All right, Houchin. Come on, Grant.
So once again, you have runners at second and third here, Daryl. That pitch was a ball. This counts 1-0. You got lucky a little bit with the run scoring on a pass ball. Can you get a timely hit again? And once again, Aurora playing for that at home. It's a nice block that time by Diaz of the pitch in the dirt.
And 2-0 the count, because Houchin ought to be licking his chops right here. Long fly ball scores 1, base hit scores 2.
As 2-0 the count here on Houchin. And that is low, and the count's 3-0. 3-0 count. It's a senior. Do you give him a green light 3-0? Ginger, you probably do. Sherwood, you probably do. I don't know if you give Houchin a green light here.
Yeah, you probably give Houchin something. I mean, he's got to have the green light here, but I would be very picky about what you're going to swing at.
Here comes the 3-0, and he's taking the entire way, and that's over for a strike, so the count's 3-1. Southwest Missouri Bank, Neosho Daily News, Marine Center Incorporated, Community Bank and Trust, all sponsoring the broadcast here, and you can be just as picky on 3-1 as you are 3-0.
Yeah, you can. If it's in his wheelhouse, and look for him to hit it.
As here comes the 3-1. That pitch is yanked foul. Counts 3-2, and that was a good one to hit.
Oh, that was right down the middle, sitting on a platter. I mean, belt high, and Grant just missed it. I mean, just a little bit. But he's seen it. He's got timing down now. Let's see if he can't hit this one here.
Full count now here on Houchin. Carpenter looks for a sign from Diaz. Gets one he likes. Here comes the full count, and that is outside for ball 4. And the bases are loaded again for Seneca. Now for Ian Heffron and Darryl, we got a visit at the mound already. I don't know that a pitching change is coming, but the head coach is going out to have a talk instead of the pitching coach.
Yeah, let's just making sure we're on the same page of where everybody's supposed to be and what everybody's supposed to do, okay? That's what this visit is, okay? Just making sure what we're doing. Hey, we're going back in the middle. We're trying to turn 2. We're going to bring the end guys up and try to get the plate and go to the plate and try to turn 2. So it is, and they may even be talking about making sure that the suicide squeeze, making sure that what we're supposed to be doing here and making sure where we're going if it's a squeeze. They may give up a run just to try to get an out on the suicide squeeze.
The Northwest Arkansas Naturals return home to Arvis Ballpark on Tuesday night, May 6th, as they begin a 6-game homestand versus the Wichita Wind Surge that goes through Sunday, May 11th. For ticket information, visit nwanaturals.com. Support of high school baseball here on KNEO. And Darryl, you look at this lineup here. Seneca 2 hits in the inning, 2 walks in the inning as well.
Yeah, instead just 1 run, though.
So that first pitch is in there to Heffron for a strike. So counts 0-1. Yeah, that's kind of the difference there. 1 out, and the out was out at home. First and third are definitely going home. I think everybody's going home, Darryl. They're playing the infield.
Everybody's up, yeah. They're not even going to try to turn 2.
Here comes the 0-1. That pitch is yanked to the right center field gap. Perfect. That's going to score at least 2 as Ginger will come in and score. And taking second on the play is Heffron. Runners will be at second and third, and Coach Yost is wanting to talk about that he was blocking the play. So 2 runs will come in and score. It's a single for Ian Heffron with 2 RBI, and coming in to score both Ball and Ginger.
Big, huge hit for Heff. Huge hit for Ian.
And that's a huge hit for Seneca in general.
We've had people in scoring position and can't get that hit. We got one now. We still just got 1 out, Ben, and we got runners still in scoring position, second and third.
As Asher Prater comes to the plate here for Seneca. Here comes the first pitch from Carpenter, and that is outside, and the count's 1-0. 4-State Sports Report, Missouri Farm Bureau Agent Josh Dotson, the Osho Area Chamber of Commerce, Mid-America Specialty Markets, all sponsoring the broadcast, and you could really blow this one open with a base hit.
You can. I mean, that pitch was outside, and the pitcher didn't like it, but it was outside.
So 1-0 is high, and the count's 2-0.
I think he's getting frustrated because he's not getting those calls. But, I mean, that one, the catcher has to reach out and grab it, pull it in. You know it's outside. But, we looking maybe getting to bat around here a little bit, but I'd soon have another base hit.
2-0 the count. Here comes the 2-0 to Prater, and that is in there for a strike, taking the entire way. Counts 2-1. Keep up on the latest Seneca broadcast ball game schedule. Be sure to like us on Facebook, facebook.com/KNEO Radio. Follow us on X, KNEO 917 Sports. Again, 2-1 is still in your favor because the pitcher doesn't want to go 3-1.
Well, the middle infielders are giving up the run.
So the 2-1 is yanked foul out of play down that right field line, and the count is now 2-2.
They're playing back, shortstop and second. They're playing deep, so they're giving up the run from third base. The corners are playing in, but
the one out they got was at home too. So if you're Houchin, you got to be aware of that. So here comes the 2-2 to Prater. That pitch is up the middle, and they had the runner out at second as Heffron has to try and get back, and he is out as they did not realize how far away he was. So that becomes a 1-3 and then a 3-6 putout to end the inning for Seneca. They do get 3 runs in the inning, on 3 base hits. There were no errors, and they strand one. One in the book. Seneca up 3-1 here on the KNEO Sports Network.
I've seen First Community Bank all over, but then to take my stuff to some people that didn't really know me and took a chance, that spoke volume.
I'll always be grateful to First Community and that whole team over at Harrison that helped get me started.
Anytime I need anything, just a phone call away. We're really proud to be with First Community Bank.
Seneca Indian Athletics is sponsored by Prairie Top Chiropractic. Located at 4556 Quince Road in Seneca, chiropractic physician Seth Wilson offers chiropractic services to Seneca and the surrounding areas. For appointment information, their phone number is 417-776-4556 or discover more at facebook.com/Prairie Top Chiropractic. Prairie Top Chiropractic, where their slogan is better health, better you.
Caden Cole will lead off the second here for Aurora. They will send 5, 6, and 7 to the plate as Cole swings and misses at that first pitch. The count's 0-1. And Darryl, after that leadoff triple, yes, Aurora did score, but you love the answer for Seneca. 3 runs, but could have been a bigger inning. As that ball down the third base line, Houchin knocks it down. Tough throw over. Ginger can't snag it, and it's going to be an infield single for Cole. That was a tough play by Houch, and he did a good job knocking it down. That's a tough throw, and I think you have to give a single to Cole on that play. No error by either Houchin or Ginger.
You do. I mean, Houchin made a great play just to stay with it, and just it was not – it short hopped him. The throw was short hop. If it was closer on a hop, he'd been there.
As Carson Gillum comes to the plate, and – now you got to watch the pickoff move here. Drew has picked off many a base runner throughout the year.
Well, you notice they're not near as far off as we are.
So that first pitch hits the outside corner to Gillum, and the count's 0-1. A thank you to Lighthouse Tax Services in downtown Seneca, offering personal and business tax filings for Missouri and multiple states, a sponsor of KNEO Radio and the Seneca Indians. As here comes the 0-1 to Gillum. And that hits the outside corner, and the count quickly 0-2. And Drew does a good job, too, of not really running up his pitch count that much. It ran up a little bit against Diamond because he had to come out in the 6th inning, whereas normally he can usually finish 6th, if not get to the 7th. So that pitch is knocked down by Ball behind the plate. Good job there by Ball. And the count's 1-2.
Yes, Drew doesn't do too much of just he goes at him. He doesn't throw off too much. He throws strikes, keeps everybody involved.
1-2 is outside, and the count's 2-2. Not much outside, but it did look outside.
Not by much. You are correct.
Here comes the 2-2, and they throw behind the runner, and the Aurora coach, I think just kind of like everybody that faces Drew, is complaining about that being a balk.
His leg doesn't go behind his the mound leg.
The 2-2 is fouled straight back, and so we'll do it again.
That's the thing about Drew in this pickoff move. He picks that right leg. He's left-handed. He picks that right leg straight up. Well, if you curl it behind, you have to go to the plate. But if you just pick it straight up, you can go to first base.
So here comes another 2-2. Long thought process by Sherwood, and that pitch is outside, and the count's full at 3-2. Now we'll see if the runner's off. I don't think 3-2 and the way Drew throws behind you potentially, I don't think he's going anywhere.
No, I don't either.
So here comes the 3-2 to Gillum, and that pitch is popped up in the air, and Ginger will snag it for out number 1.
It looked like it right off the handle of the bat. Drew threw it on the inside. That was his first, kind of like the first pitch he threw inside to a left-hander pitcher, left-hander batter.
As Brennan Diaz will come to the plate here for Aurora. 1 out here, 7-hitter up for Aurora. If you're Sherwood, you would love to get out of the inning either on this batter or the next batter and make the number 9 hitter start off the third as he fires into strikes. Counts 0-1.
I don't know if you noticed that time, Ben. he takes his stands. He comes to the plate, and the kid at first base is moving back toward first. I mean, he didn't know which way he's going.
So they throw back behind Gillum, and that one also could have been too to see because Diaz squared on that play as well, just to see if they're thinking maybe they try and bunt.
Yeah.
Here comes the 0-1. He's squaring to bunt, and the pitch is high. The count's 1-1. Kind of interesting, 1 out. Bottom of the lineup, you're having your number 7 hitter try and bunt. Unless that's just a show.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I imagine if it was a strike, he would have tried to bunt.
As here comes the 1-1 from Sherwood, and it almost hit him. They actually said it. He foul-ticked it, and the count's now 1-2. I don't think if he ticks it, it hits him.
I mean, it threw it inside on him on his hands, but.
Yes, here comes the 1-2 from Sherwood, and that is fouled off. I think that wasn't quite the trifecta, but it went off both ball and the umpire.
Little ricochet, looked like a pinball.
Like we said, not a huge lead by Cole out there at first.
That's a little further than it's been right there. That's as long as he's been out there.
As here comes the 1-2 from Sherwood, and that is a dead ball, but he swung, so it's strike 3.
Yeah, he swung at it, and it hit him. I don't know where it hit him, in the leg or?
It may have hit him in the stomach. Now the coaches and the trainer for Seneca are going to go out and have a conversation. Also could have hit him in a sensitive area.
Well, yeah.
And I think that might be where it hit. Jammed him inside.
But he swung at it.
Yeah, so that should be. I don't think he fouled it. Do you?
I mean, I don't know.
So that I think it's strike 3, but I'm not. We have no indication at this point what's happened, so we're just kind of guessing until they tell us.
The pitch was inside and it was curved inside. He might have fouled it. He may have fouled it off himself.
Which is still a foul ball. So we'll see. While we have a moment, Community Banking and Trust, proudly serving our customers for the past 140 years. May visit their branch at 1102 South Cherokee for all your banking needs. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender, proud sponsor of the Seneca Indians. Everyone at the Neosho Daily News wish the Seneca Indians good luck. Let's go get that win, and it must have been a foul ball off himself because he is still at the plate, and there's no arguments from the Seneca side.
No, Chris hasn't came out. Coach Houston has not come out of the dugout. So, anyway, 1-2.
So it must have been a foul ball off himself as he jammed him inside. Here comes another 1-2, and that pitch is inside, and it gets by ball. And the count will be 2-2, and the pass ball allows Cole to take second. And that one is definitely a pass ball, not a wild pitch.
Yeah, that's the ones. It's like that's the ones you dread. You allow them to have a guy in scoring position now.
So here comes the 2-2, and that hits the outside corner for strike 3. So it happened a couple pitches later, but there's 2 outs now for Brody Seitz.
I'd rather see 2 outs with the guy still on first.
I agree, because the base hit now scores that run, whereas if the runner's at first,
yeah, he doesn't score.
It's a harder time trying to score.
Yep.
Seitz comes to the plate here for Aurora. Sherwood trying to strand that runner at second base as Seitz calls time before anything happens. There are a bunch of fruit flies here in the press box as well.
Well, I don't have a piece of fruit, so
apparently we're fruity.
Yeah, we could be.
So here comes the first pitch to Seitz. It's Roark holding him on. That hits the inside corner. So count is 0-1. With Roark holding him on, there is a ginormous gap on that right side, especially with Klaus playing left of the second base bag.
Yeah.
But they don't think that Seitz can get around enough for that to happen. So 0-1 is swung on and missed, and the count quickly 0-2. Sherwood almost out of the inning here. 0-2 the count here on Seitz. Here comes the 0-2 from Sherwood. And that is high, trying to get him to swing at the high fastball, and he lays off, so the count's 1-2.
Not quite close enough for it to be swung at.
As here comes the 1-2 pitch from Sherwood. And that is low. Looks like he went back to the fastball, and the count's 2-2. Don't want to nibble around too much. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the second, with a runner at second. A lot of twos.
Twos are wild, man.
Although the batter is number 1. As here comes the 2-2, and that's high, and it goes from 0-2 to 3-2. You really want to get sights out so that way you don't recycle the lineup over in the third. Because Cason Brown is the number 9 hitter. Love for him to start the third inning.
Yeah.
3-2 the count here.
Throw strikes here.
So here comes the 3-2 from Sherwood, and that is popped up in the air. Ginger can't find it. Roark finds it and snags it out there in shallow right field to end the inning. For Aurora, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left, 1.5 in the books. Seneca up 3-1.
At ProLube Tire and Auto Center, we know what it means to rely on your vehicle. We race all year and know how to get that extra inch out of every part. Precision, quality, and reliability are not just words to us. It's what we do every day. We know you rely on your vehicle to perform for your family. From oil changes to full-on repairs, ProLube gives you the best racetrack team experience, so you can be worry-free.
ProLube Tire and Auto Center, where we get it right on the road and the track.
Being a Lion comes with a reputation for excellence. Whether it's in the classroom, on the court, or in the community, Lions are leading the way. With innovative and immersive academic programs, new scholarship opportunities, and a campus committed to the future, now is the perfect time to find your purpose. Find your pride at Missouri Southern State University.
The Neosho Area Chamber of Commerce is an organization that exists to make Southwest Missouri a better place to live. That is why they are proud supporters of high school athletics. They understand that the life lessons learned from sporting competition teaches responsibility and discipline and makes our student athletes better citizens for tomorrow. Learn more about local area events online at neoshocc.com. Proud supporters of local school athletics.
People's Bank of Seneca. We care about your journey every step of the way. Since 1996, visit us in Joplin, Neosho, or Seneca. PeoplesBankOfSeneca.com. Member FDIC. Proud sponsor of area athletics. Let's score big together.
And we welcome you back as 8, 9, and 1 due up for Seneca here in the second. It will be Roark, Klaus, and then back to the top of the order for Seneca and Drew Sherwood. And it's always good, Daryl, when you can get your leadoff hitter up 2 innings in a row.
Always good when you can just about bat around that last inning, you know, and here we go. A little base running error takes us out of it, you know. That's the little things that we got to keep going.
So here comes the first pitch from Carpenter. That hits the outside corner, and the count is 0-1. Carpenter struggled in that first, Daryl. He gave up 3 hits and 2 walks.
Yeah, that's
So 0-1 is swung on and missed, and the count's 0-2.
Recipe for you know, giving up a few runs, but you know Seneca took advantage of it. We got a good timely hit, and
yeah, Heffron came through with 2 RBI single. And the other one was a pass ball. 0-2 is low, and the count 1-2. Roark has done a good job here of late getting on, and he's kind of been lower in the order, but sometimes you like those guys lower in the order too because they can be table setters for the top of the order.
Well, if you can get things going right here and then get the top of the lineup up.
So here comes the 1-2 from Carpenter. That pitch is yanked to left field. The left fielder, Guido, going to come over and snag it for out number 1.
Yeah, not much of an effort there. He hit it right to him. Had to move a few steps, but that's it.
Caden Klaus has kind of moved to the bottom of the lineup, but you know, he laid down a beautiful bunt on Tuesday, and he has the speed to become a problem at the bottom of the order.
Yes, he does, and I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't look at it right now.
So that first pitch is over for a strike, and the count's 0-1. New Mac Electric, Prater's Pharmacy, ProLu Maintenance Center, Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, all sponsoring the broadcast here this afternoon. So here comes the 0-1, and jammed him inside and got him to swing, and the count's 0-2. That's kind of what Sherwood did to Diaz.
Mm-hmm.
Because that looked like it was high and inside, but...
Yeah, fastball outside, fastball inside. Might be looking at a curve here.
The 0-2 is just outside. It looked like a fastball, also low. Maybe more low than outside. Count 1-2.
I'd be looking pretty close. I don't think he wants to go. I think he wants to throw strikes, so I'd be looking at Klaus right here.
So the 2-2 is high, or the 1-2 is high, and the count now 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Klaus has worked it from 0-2 to 2-2. So he's going to step out for a second. Try and collect his thoughts.
Put the bat on the ball. Make Aurora have to get you out.
As Carpenter and Diaz aren't on the same page, but it may be more Carpenter and the coach calling the pitches aren't on the same page.
Yeah, I don't think he liked what was called.
The 2-2 is swung on and missed for strike 3, and there's 2 down as Drew Sherwood comes to the plate. As Sherwood walked his first time, got all the way to third, and then was thrown out at home.
Yeah, it was one of those plays that right back to third, and he was already off the bag running, so, there was nothing he could do. It was just, hey, you're there, you're trying to be aggressive, and that was not like really a base running error, a mistake. He just happened to be there.
The first pitch to Sherwood is outside for a ball, so the count's 1-0.
Be nice to get a 2-out rally started right here.
So here comes the 1-0, and that's swung on and missed, and the count is 1-1.
Yeah, Drew's mad at himself for missing that one. That was right down the middle. That was right in his alley.
Yeah, that was in the happy zone, as we like to say.
Yeah, he just missed it.
1-1 the count here on Sherwood. Here comes the 1-1 from Carpenter. The 1-1 is low and in the dirt, and the count's 2-1. Seneca at Lebanon tomorrow, no broadcast. And next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all have broadcasts. Monday at home against Branson, non-conference. Tuesday at home against Cassville. Conference game, here comes the 2-1. That hits outside corner, and the count's 2-2. And then the completion of the suspended game next Wednesday at East Newton.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have all 3 of those broadcasts. And then they go to Aurora for a doubleheader against Aurora and Parkview next week, as that is outside, and the count's full at 3-2. And once again, Darryl, a lot of pitches seen by Sherwood as he walked on a 3-2 count last time, and he's got a full count here.
He stretches that. He makes the pitcher work when he's up there on the at the plate.
So here comes the full count offering, and that's outside for ball 4. And now he will stretch them on the base pass as well.
Yes, he will.
As Jagger Wilson had a beautiful bunt down the third base line his first time up. And Seneca really needs to get him going offensively as well.
Yeah, that third baseman laying so far back. Don't be surprised if he doesn't try it again. Sherwood, he'll probably give Drew a chance to get to second base.
So that first pitch is outside. Sherwood takes off, and nobody was covering.
And Sherwood steals second.
Sherwood gets in there. 1-0 the count here on Wilson.
Well, if you delay your steal, the shortstop and the second baseman doesn't make a go at the plate, go at the base. And then you take off, and then they're like, oh, wait.
So here comes the 1-0. That's swung on and maybe foul tipped into the mitt. Counts 1-1. So that high fastball he couldn't resist. Another runner in scoring position for the Indians. Once again, can you get a timely hit?
Yeah.
Was 1-1 is in there for a strike. Counts 1-2. Campbell Biddlecombe Funeral Home, Big Nickel, Missouri Southern State University, and Prairie Top Chiropractic, all sponsoring the broadcast here this afternoon. 1-2 the count here on Wilson. Here comes the 1-2 from Carpenter, and that's swung on and missed on the off-speed pitch for strike 3. For Seneca, no runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left. 2 in the books. Seneca up 3-1.
Prater's Pharmacy in Seneca is a proud supporter of the Seneca Indians. The pharmacy is open from 9 to 5:30 Monday through Friday and from 9 to 1 on Saturday. They offer an automatic refill program and internet refill service online at praterspharmacy.com and through their mobile apps. They also have a drive-through window. Prater's Pharmacy at 1711 Cherokee in Seneca, 417-776-8701. Go Indians! A sponsor of community broadcasting on KNEO, Southwest Missouri Bank in Neosho, serving the Neosho area from 2 locations. They offer personal banking services, including checking and savings accounts, home loans, and online banking. Learn more online at smbonline.com. Southwest Missouri Bank, an equal housing lender. Member FDIC, where their slogan is
Southwest Missouri Bank, we can do that.
And we welcome you back as top 3 here, and Daryl Sherwood did what he needed to do there to end the second inning, and it'll be 9-1-2 here for Aurora, where the number 9 hitter is the one that you wanted to lead off the inning.
Well, it's just like when we came up the bat right there on that inning, Ben. 8, 9, 2 outs, and then we get the first lead off, so he's probably trying to get the first one out here now after starting off the ball.
Counts 1-0 here on Brown. That second inning was a little bit more taxing for Sherwood. So here comes the 1-0, and that's over for a strike. Counts 1-1, 22 pitches there in the second compared to 14 in the first.
Yeah, throw strikes.
Comes the 1-1. That's popped up in the air, foul, and that's going to get out of play towards the parking lot. Counts 1-2. Creasy and Mooneyham due up behind Brown. Anybody reaches Holland would come to the plate. Comes the 1-2. And that is just outside, maybe high as well. And the count 2-2 to Brown. So here comes the 2-2 from Sherwood. That's foul tipped at the plate. I was wondering if it just went off the catcher's glove.
I think it did. Ricochet.
But I didn't think it was foul. That's why I was wondering why he wasn't going after it. Because that would have been strike 3, but a foul ball makes sense. Comes another 2-2. That is just outside, maybe high as well, and Brown has worked it full. Sherwood has not walked anybody, but the bottom half of the lineup has made him work. Gillum worked a full count. Diaz worked a 2-2. Seitz worked a 3-2. That ball yanked down the left field line, and it's going to be fair, and it's going to be trouble. Heffron able to cut it off. There could be a play at second, and in safely with the double to start the inning is Brown. That was a good job by Heffron to cut it off, but an excellent job by Brown there for Aurora to get to second.
We did everything we were supposed to do on that play, but, like I said, good speed around the bases.
Creasy hammered the ball to right center his first time. One hopped the wall right around the end of the Indians, the first end. So that first pitch is outside, and the count's 1-0. And, Darryl, that was a full count pitch to Brown, and that's what happens when you get a full count because the pitcher doesn't want to walk him.
No, you got to come to him. He's wasting too many pitches. He's been to a 3-ball count several times.
So here comes the 1-0 from Sherwood. That is outside, and the count's 2-0. Don't really want to let him get on and then have 2, 3, 4 up with nobody out. So here comes the 2-0 from Sherwood. That 2-0 was swung on and missed. Looked like he went off speed there. Creasy expecting a fastball, and he went changeup.
Like he threw changeup on the inside part of the plate, too.
Jammed him a little bit. 2-1 the count here on Creasy. Here comes a 2-1 pitch. That pitch is yanked over the head of Wilson. It's going to roll for a while, and it'll be an RBI double there for Creasy as they cut the lead to 3-2. Back-to-back doubles for Aurora, and Aurora's in business. Memphis Mooneyham comes to the plate. He popped out to Wilson in short left field his first time up.
Let's see if we can keep him. We held him at third the whole time.
For a while, Mooneyham popped out, and then Holland singled him in.
Right.
So that first pitch is outside for a ball, and the count is 1-0.
I don't think he's quite as sharp today. Not yet, anyway. He found his rhythm. Throw strikes. Throw strikes and live with the results.
So here comes the 1-0. He's trying to bunt his way on, and that is a beautiful bunt. And it'll be runners at first and third. It looked like some of the Seneca fans were thinking maybe it would go foul, but I think Houchin did the smart move because I don't think that was spinning enough for it to go foul.
No, it wasn't spinning enough. It wasn't going to go foul. I think Houchin hesitated, hoping it was having. But I'd like to see him pick it up and at least get an out.
Runners at first and third here as Holland comes to the plate. He singled his last time up.
And still nobody out.
We'll see if Sherwood tries to pick off Mooneyham at first. And he is off, and they do have him picked off, and he is out. It is a 1-3-6 put out. He went on first motion, and he was picked off. I mean,
yes.
As long as he's a very fast base runner, but as long as everybody did what they needed to do, you knew they had a chance to pick him off, and they did.
Picked him off first, Hagen with a good strike down and throw to second base and a good tag.
So here comes the first pitch, and that's swung on and missed by Holland. This counts 0-1. I mean, he took off as soon as he lifted his leg, so Drew's like, all right, I'll just throw over to first.
Yeah, and that's Drew's pickoff move.
Seneca will give up the tying run for a single as that one's in there for a strike. Counts 0-2 because the infield's playing back. 0-2 the count here on Holland. He singled in a run his first time up. So here comes the 0-2, and that pitch is high, and the count's 1-2. Aurora could be potentially running themselves out of a big inning. 1-2 the count. That pitch is yanked down to left. Heffren gonna throw it home. He hits. Well, they let it go through the cutoff man, but in safely is Creasy, and we are tied at 3. I mean, he did what you wanted him to do, Daryl, and basically go through the cutoff man that time. But the run comes in and scores, and Holland has both 2 of the 3 RBI, and we're tied at 3.
Yeah, it was deep enough to score. You know, you're not gonna throw him out from that deep in third left field.
Carpenter flew out to right his first time as that first pitch is high for a ball. Counts 1-0, and we're back square where we were at the beginning of the game. We're tied. Here comes the 1-0. That's swung on and missed. Counts 1-1, and Aurora really kind of ran themselves out of an inning there. Instead of runner at first with maybe 1 out, or a runner at second or third with 1 out, maybe 2 outs, or with 1 out, you have nobody on base with 2 outs.
Right, yeah. They're missing a base runner right now, like Seneca did.
2-1 the count on Carpenter, and that 2-1 is inside. Counts 3-1. Lighthouse Tax Services, Dairy Queen of Seneca, First Community Bank, Cedar Lane Farm and Garden, Northwest Arkansas Naturals all sponsoring the broadcast, as that one is fouled straight back, and the count is now full 3-2 as Aurora has done a good job of running up Sherwood's pitch count.
Making him work.
Here comes the 3-2, and that's high for ball 4. First walk of the afternoon by Sherwood. As Caden Cole comes to the plate. Cole singled his first time up. We'll see if there's a courtesy runner for Carpenter. There is, number 2. As that will be Cooper Brown running for Carpenter at the plate. Because Carpenter is the pitcher of record. So Cooper Brown running at first. for Aurora as Sherwood steps off. Caden Cole 1 for 1.
And not a very big lead.
So they're going to throw behind him. Even with that not very big lead, he almost got picked off.
Yeah, you don't know. I mean, his pitch to the mound and pitch to the plate, or, throw to the first and pitch to the is exactly the same.
So here comes the first pitch, and that is just inside on Cole. Counts 1-0. Another lengthy inning here for Sherwood. So here comes the 1-0 from Sherwood. That pitch is yanked down the third base line, foul. Houchin calling forward in foul territory and will snag it for out number 3. For Aurora, they do get 2 runs in the inning on 3 base hits. There were no errors and 1 stranded. 2.5 in the books, 3 up.
Crowder College, your future, our focus. At Crowder College, we have 6 convenient locations in Southwest Missouri and online programs to fit your needs. Flexible scheduling provides a pathway to a career or the opportunity to transfer to a 4-year university in a variety of programs. Cheer for the Rough Riders at athletic events. Use the Missouri A+ Scholarship Program for free tuition and common fees. At Crowder College, your future is our focus. Apply today at crowder.edu.
Seneca Indian Athletics is sponsored by Prairie Top Chiropractic. Located at 4556 Quince Road in Seneca, chiropractic physician Seth Wilson offers chiropractic services to Seneca and the surrounding areas. For appointment information, their phone number is 417-776-4556 or discover more at facebook.com/Prairie Top Chiropractic. Prairie Top Chiropractic, where their slogan is, better health, better you.
Happy Egg supports the family farmer because they've seen the difference a choice like this can make. Now you can grow for Happy Egg and choose to raise hens the right way, the happy way. When you grow for Happy Egg, you are growing for a family-owned and operated business. You're raising happy hens on 10+ acres who will lay happy eggs. You're working for yourself. As a Happy Egg grower, you'll receive new flock cost support and yield-based compensation. Visit happyegg.com/grower to apply today.
And we welcome you back as it will be the heart of the order here for Seneca. Ball, Ginger, and Houchin are the 3 due up, and all 3 of them reached in the first, Darryl.
Well, everybody was on base, it seemed like in the first inning. We had a good first inning. Let's see if we can hit the baseball and make some runs this inning.
Here comes the first pitch, and that's in there for a strike. The count's 0-1. Ball reached on a fielder's choice, eventually came around and scored. Ginger reached on a single, and Houchin walked. Heffron had the big blow for the Indians in that first, a 2 RBI single. So that pitch is outside, and the count's 1-1. People's Bank of Seneca, Crowder College, Christian Healthcare Ministry, Seneca School District, all sponsoring the broadcast here this afternoon. As here comes the 1-1. That pitch is doinked foul, and the count now 1-2. Ginger up to 30 bases stolen on the year. He's 6 away from tying the record, 7 from setting it himself.
Well, yeah, he's got to get on base to do that.
And he still has 6 or 7 games to try and break it. So here comes the 1-2 to Ball. That's swung on and missed. Pitch was in the dirt, so they have to complete the throw down. They do, and there's 1 down here as Ginger comes to the plate. That is the 3rd strikeout of the game for Carpenter, who, after that rough first, Darryl, has settled in nicely.
We can't get much on him. See if we can't start a 1-out rally here. See if Hagan can get us going.
Ginger singled up the middle his first time. Just kind of poked it back where it came from. So that first ball, kind of half-hearted swing, check swing, and the count's 0-1. So the pitch was in there for a strike. In there for a strike regardless of if he swung or not. Comes the 0-1, and that pitch is low, and the count's 1-1. Southwest Missouri Bank, Neosho Daily News, Marine Center Incorporated, Community Bank and Trust, all sponsoring the broadcast. Here comes the 1-1 pitch to Ginger. 1-1 is yanked down the left field line, and it is going to fall in front of the left fielder as Ginger 2 for 2 on the afternoon. Once again.
Good hit here.
And Houchin is kind of good protection for Ginger because he will take a pitch or two to let Ginger take second and or third.
You never know with Hagan. I don't know. You know, he's aggressive. Sometimes he gets off the base far enough that he puts himself in danger getting picked off, too.
Houchin reached on a walk his first time. He's got a pretty sizable lead over there. Comes the first pitch. Houchin takes a ball, and Ginger in safely.
And I was watching when they had guys in second base, and that second baseman and shortstop did not really hold them on. So if that's not the case,
I mean the second
baseman's back there now. Hagen's got to pay attention to him too.
1-0 the count. He's playing right behind him, so you could spin around. He's going to try and take third, and Houchin swings and fouls it off. 1-1 the count. He's at 31 now on the year. He was looking for 32.
Yeah, I'm sure Coach is talking. And look, I mean, the lead here, holy cow. Second baseman, they're going to come back and pick him off.
And he is out at second base. It is a 1-4 put out, and that's exactly what you were talking about.
You can't he's stretching it out there, but you got to watch that second baseman. If he's hiding behind the base, you've got to get back.
1-1 the count now. 2 down here. Nobody on for Seneca.
Well, you're running them out. You run yourself out of an inning now.
Here comes the 1-1 to Houchin. That is low, and the count's 2-1. Four State Sports Report, Missouri Farm Bureau Agent Josh Dotson, Yosh Area Chamber of Commerce, Mid-America Specialty Markets, sponsoring the broadcast. And you wish Houchin wasn't fouling off that 1-0 as that pitch is hammered foul, and the count now 2-2, but because he had third base stolen on that 1-0 pitch.
Right. Yes, he did, and Grant swung at it. And, you know, you can't blame Grant. I don't think it was a straight steal. But you just, on a 1-0 count, you know, you can let one go by. But anyway, I mean, he shouldn't get picked off.
The 2-2 is in there for a called strike 3. That will end the inning for Seneca. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, nobody left. 3 in the books, tied at 3 on the KNEO Sports Network.
Cedar Lane Farm and Garden at 143 Cherokee Avenue in Seneca is your local feed dealer and a supporter of Seneca Indian sports. Offering vet, livestock, and pet products, Cedar Lane also carries a full line of farm and garden supplies. For more information, contact Cedar Farm and Garden on Cherokee Avenue in Seneca today. The number is 417-776-8231. Open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. and Saturday, 8 a.m. through 2 p.m. for your convenience. Go Indians! Marine Center Incorporated is a sponsor of Seneca Athletics. In business since 1979, they offer Mercury and Suzuki motors, along with low boats as well as boat repairs. Located at 4961 Highway 43 in Joplin, Missouri, open Monday through Friday 9 to 5, Saturday 9 to 12, and closed on Sunday. For more information, the phone number is 417-781-7450 or online at marinecenterjoplin.com. The Marine Center Incorporated, where the slogan is, your family boating headquarters.
People's Bank of Seneca. We care about your journey every step of the way. Since 1996, visit us in Joplin, Neosho, or Seneca. PeoplesBankOfSeneca.com. Member FDIC. Proud sponsor of area athletics. Let's score big together.
Carson Gillum to lead off the fourth here for Aurora, and hits one on a couple hops to Roark at second, and it's 1 pitch and 1 out, and that is desperately needed for Sherwood. It's Brennan Diaz will come to the plate, then Brody Seitz. Anybody who reaches Cason Brown would come to the plate. Oh, we may have a pinch hitter here.
23?
23 is pinch hitting.
Parker Blackburn.
He must be pinch hitting for Diaz. So that pitch is swung on and missed, and the count is 0-1. I don't know if he reported to the umpire or not. So the 0-1 is in there for a strike, and the count 0-2. And I wonder if he came in. I wonder if he came in after that second when Diaz hit it off himself and we didn't notice.
Oh, that may be.
As here comes the 0-2, and that just high, maybe outside as well.
It was a maybe.
The count now 1-2. 1-2 is high, and the count 2-2. Thank you to Lighthouse Tax Services in downtown Seneca, offering personal and business tax filings for Missouri and multiple states. Sponsor of KNEO Radio and the Seneca Indians. That pitch is a ball, and the count full is 3-2. Went from 0-2 to 3-2. Comes the full count offering, and that is high for ball 4, and Blackburn walks. A one-out base runner as Brody Seitz comes to the plate. We'll see if they have a courtesy runner for the catcher. As running for the catcher is number 2, which that is Cooper Brown. So Brown, the courtesy runner. As Seitz comes to the plate, he popped up to second base his first time. Sherwood, second walk of the afternoon. Like you said, Daryl, he hasn't been as sharp. So they throw behind the runner, and he's back safely. And, I mean, that's not a very big lead for Brown, and he still almost got picked off.
No, like I said, they look exactly the same. I'll guarantee, Drew works on that. Throw it over to the first, and the throw to the plate looks the same.
So first pitch is in there for a strike, and the count's 0-1. Seitz popped up to Roark his first time up. Northwest Arkansas Naturals return home to Arvis Ballpark on Tuesday night, May 6th. To begin a 6-game homestand versus the Wichita Wind Surge that goes through Sunday, May 11th. For ticket information, nwanaturals.com. The supporter of high school baseball here on KNEO. So that pitch fouled off?
Yeah, fouled off. Trying to bunt and fouled it off. It was a high pitch, and he tried to bunt. They had to bunt on.
Count now 0-2. I had my head down finishing to read, so that's why I was curious what happened. 0-2 the count, and we'll have to see if Seitz still has the bunt on with 2 strikes. Problem is if you miss it, it becomes strike 3.
Yeah.
Here comes the 0-2. That's swung on and missed for strike 3. That's more the Sherwood that we like to see. Went straight after him that time.
Yeah. Quit. Yeah, throwing off or throwing around the strike zone here is up in his pitch count. Just throw strikes.
Keep up on the latest Seneca broadcast ball game schedule. Be sure to like us on Facebook, facebook.com/KNEO Radio. Follow us on X at KNEO917 Sports. Brown doubled his last time in the third, down that third base line. Came in and scored as that first pitch is high and outside, and the count's 1-0. Seneca busy next, really 5-6 days. As here comes the 1-0 from Sherwood. That is inside, and the count is 2-0. You want to get out of this inning without turning the lineup over to Creasy, who has a double and a triple to his credit. Love for Creasy to be up with nobody on. The 2-0 is swung on and missed, and the count now 2-1. Seneca home today at Lebanon tomorrow, off over the weekend, but then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week. The 2-1 hits that, must have been high, and the count's 3-1 because it definitely hit the corner. Seneca non-conference game at home on Monday against Branson. Home Tuesday, Big 8 game against Cassville. That's pitch is fouled back, and the count's full, and now the courtesy runner Brown can be off on the pitch. But he's got to be careful because Sherwood, don't be surprised if he throws over. 3-2 is inside for ball 4. 2 walks in the inning, and now you get back to the top of the lineup and the most dangerous hitter for Aurora and Sean Creasy.
He's I don't know what, he can't find the strike zone when he needs to, and it's you just got to throw strikes and live with the results because they can't make plays behind you if you're walking them.
The first pitch is high for a ball. It counts 1-0. Two outs here in the inning. See if you can strand some more base runners. Here comes the 1-0. That's high, and the count's 2-0. And you know Sean Creasy is licking his chops 2-0.
Yeah, because you know you've got to come to him now instead of starting him off with strikes or making him have to do something. Now you've got to go to him.
Here comes the 2-0. That must have been low, and the count's 3-0. This may be one of those intentional walks and say we're going to live to face Memphis Mooneyham, although he singled his last time.
Yeah.
Mooneyham is 1 for 2. 3-0 is in there for a strike. The count 3-1. It's not a bad pitch to take if you're Sean Creasy, though.
Oh, no. It's looked like a high curveball coming in.
Here comes the 3-1 from Sherwood. That fastball is spoiled foul, and he's worked it full, and Creasy probably wanting that one back because that one looked pretty medium.
Looked inviting, didn't it?
Yeah. Runners will be off again on the pitch, though, with 2 outs. Here comes the 3-2 from Sherwood. That is the outside corner for strike 3. And Seneca gets out of the inning with no damage. No runs, no hits, no errors. 2 left. 3.5 in the books. We're tied at 3.
The staff at Mid-America Specialty Markets, along with Jamie and Terry Langford, are proud to serve our community and support the local high school students in their extracurricular activities this school year. Langford Insurance specializes in life, agribusiness, commercial, and personal insurance needs. Please stop by and see us at our office at 908 Washington Avenue, or call us at 417-776-LIFE, or visit us at midaminsurance.com.
So, you believe in God. That means you'll go to heaven, right? Well, that depends on how you define the word believe. Billy Graham.
The Bible says the devil believes and trembles, but the devil's not going to heaven. You can believe in God. You can believe in Christ. You can believe in the church. You can believe in the Bible, but that won't get you to heaven. It's more than that. The word believe means to commit. It means to surrender. I'm asking you tonight to commit, to stand on, to receive Christ as your Lord and your Master and your Savior. Let Him forgive the past, give you a new dimension of living. Write your name on the book of life. Make sure you're going to heaven.
If you're ready to take that step and believe that Jesus is your Savior, let's talk now at 855-255-PRAY. 855-255-PRAY. We're the Billy Graham Evangelistic Association.
Ian Heffron will lead things off for Seneca here in the 4th, 6, 7, 8. Heffron, Prater, and Roark. So here comes the first pitch to Heffron, and that is in there for a strike. Counts 0-1. Heffron had 2 RBI single. He took second on the throw home, but he poked it to right center field his first time up. The 0-1 is outside, and the count's 1-1. Seneca had that big first inning, not much doing since then. Here comes the 1-1. That is outside and low, and the count's 2-1. Ginger had a 1-out single in the 3rd, stole second, but ran into the second out.
Yeah. Trying to steal 3rd and got picked off second base.
So here comes the 2-1 to Heffron. That is outside, and the count now 3-1. Can be picky here, 3-1 if you're Ian. Here comes the 3-1 from Carpenter, and that's spoiled straight back. Looked like off speed, maybe a changeup, but it looked center cut.
Yeah, I thought it was a little up in the strike zone, but still, yeah, you got to swing at it.
Count now full on Heffron. So here comes the 3-2 from Carpenter. And that is in there for a called strike 3 and out number 1. As Carpenter has settled in nicely. That is his 5th strikeout. As Prater grounded back to the pitcher his first time. Hit the ball hard, but Carpenter stuck his glove out and was able to get it.
Mm-hmm.
So here comes the first pitch to Prater, that's swung on and missed. Looked like off speed, maybe a slider?
I don't know what it is. It's not a very fast pitch, but it may have a little bit of movement on it.
It looked like it moved, but it didn't move like a curveball. That pitch is outside, and the count's 1-1. That one looked off speed, too. 1-1 the count here on Prater. Here comes the 1-1 from Carpenter. That's foul out of play, and the count now 1-2. Long first inning for Carpenter, but he has settled in since that point.
He's throwing strikes. We're not swinging at it, and we're not hitting it.
So they're going to try a high fastball here. Here comes the 1-2, and it's low. See the catcher setting up high, and then it goes in the dirt.
Yeah, you know the pitcher missed his spot that time.
2-2 the count here on Prater. It dinged a catch, and I think that's what happened, Daryl, is Diaz came out and Blackburn came in. So I think that's Blackburn behind the plate, not Diaz anymore. So that pitch is outside, and the count's full at 3-2 because I'm looking at his number now.
Yeah, 23.
3, and I don't see Diaz anymore. So Diaz is the one that fouled it off himself there in the first. He finished that bat, but they may have said, all right, we're, you know, may not have felt that great, so they're going to put somebody else in there instead. And Blackburn goes out. So the count's full at 3-2. If Prater gets on, you have to figure a pinch runner would be.
I would guess that, yes.
Here comes the 3-2. That's low for ball 4. That's the third walk of the game by Carpenter. Fourth walk, excuse me, but his first since the second. And here comes your pinch runner. I believe it's going to be Jackson Yoakum.
I believe you're right, Ben. I've got a feeling he's not going to try to steal, though.
The one out, Braden Roark comes to the plate, flew out to left field his last time up. Love for Roark and Klaus both to reach. That way you get back to the top of the lineup in the 5th. If not, have a rally going here.
I like the rally idea. Second baseman got a big hole over there on the right side of the field. And left.
As they throw back behind Yoakum, who's in safely. It's got a pretty big lead over there, Daryl. That's something you don't want because that's your one appearances as a pinch runner and don't really want to get picked off.
He's not got near as big as lead this time.
As Roark takes a called strike and the count's 0-1. Bottom 4 here in Seneca, we're tied at 3. Aurora jumped out to a 1-0 lead in the top half of the first. Seneca was surrounded with 3, and then Aurora got 2 in the third. As that ball is hit through the left side for a single past the third baseman, Holland, and the runners are at first and second for Klaus.
Good piece of hitting there by Roark. Waited on that thing and just stayed out in front of it and had a big gap over there. Shortstop was trying to, he's a little bit towards second base, had a big gap and hit the gap. It was just good, just perfect, perfect hitting.
Do not be surprised if Caden Klaus tries to put down a bunt towards that third base side.
Third baseman's in. So's the first baseman. They're anticipating it.
Comes the first pitch, and he takes a pitch in there for strikes. The count is 0-1. I don't think Coach used to like to call it a strike. We'll see if they have that play on again. If you can make the third baseman field it, it's going to be a tough out.
Try to get the second and third with Drew up.
As here comes the 0-1, and he had to offer at it. Otherwise, it would have hit him, and it fouled off in the count 0-2.
I'd soon he pulled the bat back and let it hit him.
Well, sometimes when a ball's coming at you that fast, you don't have that kind of reaction time. It's easier said than done.
I know.
0-2 the count here on Klaus. The first and third baseman are still in, and that pitch is fouled back. So Klaus will see another pitch. They're still kind of anticipating him trying to square one. Count remains 0-2. You want those runners on for Sherwood at the very least.
That's a good swing by Klaus just to hang on. It was close. They're the high fastball again now, what they're calling for.
So 0-2 is low. The count 1-2. If you're Roark, I think you have to be a little bit careful. I know you're not getting held on, but your secondary can't be as big as what it is.
Well, that second baseman is hiding behind there, so he's trying to stay out of the sight.
I'm talking about first base.
Oh.
It's the 1-2. It's a late swing by Klaus, but he gets a piece to keep himself alive. It was a late swing, but he did a good job of getting a piece to stay alive.
That's what you have to do. If it's close, swing at it. You know, get a piece of it, foul it off. You don't have to make no big swing. Now the first baseman's going to back up.
Count remains 1-2. And you see how big that lead is by Roark. 1-2 is swung on and missed for strike 3. It looks like they went off speed there.
Yeah.
2 outs here for Sherwood. Sherwood has walked both times he's been up. He has seen a ton of pitches. Count has gone full both times he's come to the plate.
This is the second time in a row he's come up with 2 outs. He came out with 2 outs in the last time he's up.
In the second inning.
Yeah, second inning. So let's see if he can produce something here. Get a base hit. He's due. Maybe we can score one.
Comes the first pitch, and that is low for a ball. And the count is 1-0. Sherwood, a good leadoff hitter. He sees a ton of pitches.
Yeah, Yoakum's not very far off second.
The 1-0 is outside, and now the ball gets by the catcher, Blackburn, and that allows the runners to take second and third on the wild pitch. And now you have 2 runners in scoring position where a base knock gives you 2 runs potentially.
And now it's 2-0 with the count.
And so Sherwood will be licking his chops here.
He knows he's got to come at him.
If he can pull it to that right side, he could run for a while to the right center field gap. So here comes the 2-0. And that is inside. Blackburn sets up outside, and it's inside. 3-0 the count. Probably green light special here, 3-0.
If it's down the middle, don't be surprised if he doesn't swing at it.
And they're going to intentionally walk him 3-0 because I think they're afraid, and Wilson struck out his last time. So they'd rather face Wilson than Sherwood. Wilson bunted for a single his first time. He's also struck out. I'm not sure what Carpenter went to talk to the field ump about, but he went and had a conversation with him, and he's the one that initiated it.
I think he's going to wind up instead of the stretch.
First pitch to Wilson is outside for a ball, and the count is 1-0. A walk does bring in a run.
Bases loaded. You do not have to go
from the stretch.
You can go from the wind up.
Here comes the 1-0. And that gets by the catcher, and that will bring in a run on the wild pitch. And Seneca has a 4-3 lead.
And the freshman, number 3, Jackson Yoakum, comes home to get the 4th run. Your Seneca Indians.
So runners now at second and third, and Darrell, once again, it's a 2-0 count. So Seneca gets the lead back, but a base hit could be a big inning again. 2-0 the count here on Wilson.
A timely hit, Ben.
2-0 is spoiled down that left field line foul. It's hit a long ways, but a little bit of a late swing there, and it's fouled off. 2-1 is still your pitch, though, because you know the pitcher doesn't want to go 3-1. That's what you always say.
Yeah. Here's the pitch. I mean, Jagger's just been underneath the ball just a little.
So that pitch is low, and the count now 3-1. Carpenter's got to be running out of pitches soon. He has worked hard in the first inning and this inning. 3-1 the count here on Wilson. Comes the 3-1. That pitch is hit to second. Going to throw to first in time for the putout. That will end the inning. Seneca does get 1 run in the inning on 1 base hit. There were no errors, and they strand 3. 4 in the book. Seneca up 4-3.
The Roper Kia 4-State Sports Report will provide up-to-the-minute scores and highlights from around the 4 states. With ultimate local coverage from all your favorite teams. The Roper Kia 4-State Sports Report, weeknights at 6 and 10 p.m.
I'm a Missouri Farm Bureau insurance agent. I'm for working hard for what you get and then protecting what you've got. Your home, your vehicles, your life. I'm for making an honest living and taking pride in what you do, and for giving back to the community I call home. I'm for serving my clients with the respect and dignity you would expect from the farmers that started this company. And though I know you probably hope you never need me, I'm here for you when you do. I'm a Missouri Farm Bureau insurance agent, and if you're a Missourian, I'm for you.
I am Josh Dotson with Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance Services. If you're in Missouri, I'm for you.
People's Bank of Seneca. We care about your journey every step of the way. Since 1996, visit us in Joplin, Neosho, or Seneca. PeoplesBankOfSeneca.com. Member FDIC. Proud sponsor of area athletics. Let's score big together.
And we welcome you back. Seneca up 4-3 as Memphis Mooneyham will start off the 5th. Takes a ball. Counts 1-0. He's 1 for 2. He has popped out and singled. He got caught stealing in the 3rd. Kind of ran Aurora out of an inning there as that 1-0 pitch is popped up in the air. Tough play, and that is going to fall in fair territory. Heffron going to grab it, but excellent base running there by Aurora as Mooneyham takes the extra base with them kind of lollygagging around there.
I don't know what it just blooped right there in the no man's land and maybe took a bounce, kicked out of bounds. Further foul territory.
So Max Holland comes to the plate. He has a 2 RBI on the afternoon. He flew out to left field his last time up. It was a sacrifice fly. Another runner in scoring position for Aurora. Aurora's had base runners in every inning, which is kind of unusual for Sherwood. So that pitch is in the dirt. Good block by Ball. Keep him in front of it and keep Mooneyham at second base. 1-0 the count. So here comes the 1-0 from Sherwood. That pitch is popped in the air, foul, out of play, and the count 1-1. Newmac Electric, Prater's Pharmacy, Prolube Maintenance Center, Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, all sponsoring the broadcast here this afternoon. 1-1 the count here on Holland. Comes the 1-1. 1-1 is nubbed foul on the off-speed pitch, and the count 1-2. Other sponsors: Campbell Biddlecombe Funeral Home, Big Nickel, Missouri Southern State University, Prairie Top Chiropractic, Lighthouse Tax Services, Dairy Queen of Seneca, First Community Bank, Cedar Lane Farm and Garden, Northwest Arkansas Naturals. Sherwood would love a strikeout here. He has been a little bit off today. He's only got 2. So here comes the 1-2 pitch from Sherwood. 1-2 is popped in the air, foul, out of play. Got him to chase the high heater, but he also got a piece of it. Count will remain 1 ball and 2 strikes. And strikeout here would be huge for the Indians. Here comes the 1-2 from Sherwood. A 1-2 is outside. Kind of set up inside, and he went outside. So the count now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Leadoff runner doubled for Aurora. That tying run sitting at second. Here comes the 2-2. That breaking ball, he got a piece again, as Holland has done a good job of getting a piece to stay alive these last couple of pitches.
Yeah, he's doing what he's supposed to do, get a piece of it. Drew's doing what he's doing, throw strikes. Throw strikes and live with the results.
As here comes another 2-2 from Sherwood. That pitch is yanked up the middle, and Wilson can't grab it. It'll be an RBI single for Max Holland, and Ginger able to cut it off to keep Holland at first. If Wilson is able to snag that, they have an easy double play because Mooneyham was about 3/4 of the way to third base at that point. But Holland has 3 of the 4 RBI for Aurora. As Jaden Carpenter comes to the plate, he has flown out and walked. That ball was not hit very hard. I wonder if the umpire got a little bit in the way of Wilson as well, because he kind of reacted to it a little bit late. The field ump is sitting on now second base side. I think he was on the third base side against Holland. So that pitch is swung on and missed. The count's 1-1. Tied at 4. Runner at first for Aurora. So here comes the 1-1, and they're going to throw behind Holland, who does not have a big lead at all. So here comes another 1-1 from Sherwood, and that is high, and it gets by ball. A wild pitch allows the go-ahead run to get to second base. Aurora took a 1-0 lead. That's their only lead of the game so far. They tied it up in the 4th and then tied it up here in the 5th. Still nobody out. Cleanup hitter up for Aurora here in Carpenter. Here comes the 2-1 pitch from Sherwood. That 2-1 is high and outside, and the count's 3-1. Seneca does have a plethora of relievers available, on Houchin, Heffron, and Ginger all available. So here comes the 3-1. That pitch is swung on and missed on the high heater, and the count now 3-2. People's Bank of Seneca, Crowder College, Christian Healthcare Ministries, Seneca School District, all sponsoring the broadcast. So here comes the 3-2 pitch. That's swung on and missed for strike 3. Good job battling there by Sherwood, and he gets Carpenter out. As Caden Cole will come to the plate here for Aurora.
Yeah.
He is 1 for 2. He has singled. He has also fouled out to third.
Just and only the first out of the inning, so we need 2 more and get out of here. At least a tie scored at the end. Keep that guy in second.
Cole pops one in the air in foul territory. Ball saw it late and can't grab it. Houchin also saw that super late as well. Sherwood is the one that saw it the quickest, but he couldn't get there in time.
Well, he backed off because I think he saw Ball running at it. He saw Silas running at it. So Drew backed off.
0-1 the count here on Cole. See if that doesn't come back to bite the Indians. Here comes the 0-1. And he's trying to bunt his way on, and he misses it, and the count 0-2. I mean, Houchin's playing back, Ginger's playing back, so that's not necessarily a bad play by Cole if he can get the bunt down.
Well, if he laid a good bunt down, he'd scored unless Drew would have picked it up.
So that pitch is inside, and the count is 1-2. I think Sherwood wanted that inside pitch, but did not get the call. 1-2 the count here on Cole. Here comes the 1-2. That pitch is hit on a hop to Wilson at shortstop, throws to first in time. It's a 6-3 putout, and there's 2 down. It was too slow a roller to try and get Holland going to third. Normally, you don't want to go to third if the ball's hit in front of you, but it was a slow enough roller that it didn't matter. Carson Gillum 0 for 2. He's popped out to Ginger at first and grounded out to Roark at second. Got to watch out for wild pitch pass ball now as that first pitch hits the outside corner, and the count's 0-1. That runner got to second with nobody out. So if you can strand that go-ahead run there, that would be big for the Indians. As here comes the 0-1, and that is outside, and the count's 1-1. Had to bring it back a little bit. So the count now 1 ball and 1 strike. Southwest Missouri Bank, Neosho Daily News, Marine Center Incorporated, Community Bank and Trust sponsoring the broadcast. The 1-1 is in there for a strike, and the count now 1-2. See if Drew can get himself out of this inning. The 1-2 is fouled at the plates, and so Gillum got just enough of a piece to keep himself alive. Four State Sports Report, Missouri Farm Bureau Agent Josh Dotson, the Neosho Area Chamber of Commerce, Mid-America Specialty Markets, sponsoring the broadcast. So that 1-2 is high, and the count's 2-2. What Gillum getting up does is, at the very worst, Aurora will see the top of their order at least one more time in the 7th. The 2-2 is swung on and missed for strike 3, and Seneca is able to tie the go-ahead run at third base. For Aurora in the inning, 1 run on 2 hits. There were no errors, and they strand 1. 4.5 in the books. We're tied at 4.
Prater's Pharmacy in Seneca is a proud supporter of the Seneca Indians. The pharmacy is open from 9 to 5:30 Monday through Friday and from 9 to 1 on Saturday. They offer an automatic refill program and internet refill service online at praterspharmacy.com and through their mobile apps. They also have a drive-through window. Prater's Pharmacy at 1711 Cherokee in Seneca, 417-776-8701. Go Indians! The Seneca R7 School District is proud to support the student athletes and coaches competing in this game. High school activities help students learn life values such as hard work, dedication, and teamwork. The Seneca R7 School District is honored to serve such a great community and wants to thank all the Indian fans for their great support. The Seneca R7 School District. Tradition, pride, class.
You've got to have someone that understands what you are doing as a mission. Community bankers are important that way because they understand the community relationships that we have to form to be successful.
I feel like First Community Bank and Myers-Davis, our cultures are so similar. It is all about relationship.
It's a real boon to our community to have a bank like First Community to be supportive of so many things.
They're willing to take a chance on entrepreneurs, which is helpful to make the community grow.
Bottom 5 here in Seneca. We have a new pitcher out there for Aurora. It is number 9, Sean Creasy. Creasy moves from the first base bag to pitch, and I think it's a straight switch here because Carpenter went from the mound to first.
Yeah.
So I think it's a straight switch here. Creasy was done after 4 innings, and we'll try and get you his totals here in a minute. But he gave up 5 hits and 4 runs. All 4 runs he gave up were earned as well. And then we'll try and get you walks and strikeouts in a moment. But he will be facing the heart of the Seneca order in Ball, Ginger, and Houchin. Ball 1 for 2, Ginger 2 for 2, Houchin 0 for 1. So neither starter is going to end up with a decision here. Drew Sherwood is going to have to come out after 5 as Ball takes a called strikes, counts 0-1. Because Sherwood, that last batter, got him over the 105 pitch mark. He ended with 108. Here comes the 0-1, and it hits him almost in the head. And if you're Seneca, you'll take that because the leadoff runner is on.
Leadoff runner's on.
And you could have a courtesy runner potentially. We'll see if they decide to go that route. There's no guarantee that that's going to happen, though, as Ball looks like he's out
maybe if
there.
Silas gets to second.
Ginger comes to the plate, and Daryl's had a couple good at-bats here today.
See if we can get another one.
That first one is low, and the count's 1-0. Looked like off-speed pitch there. Didn't look like it missed by much either.
No.
See if the heart of the order can get something going here for the Indians. 1-0 the count here on Ginger. Comes the 1-0 from Creasy. That's over for a called strike, and the count 1-1. Right side of the infield is at the point where you're directly looking into the sun setting as they throw behind ball.
And they're giving Hagan the whole right side, too, at the infield.
Yeah, that second baseman is playing up the middle. That's where he hit the first one, as he's going to thought about bunting and takes a called strike. Counts 1-2. Maybe he thought it was outside, but count now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Now you have to protect with 2 strikes. It's 1-2 the count here on Ginger. Creasy gets the sign from Blackburn. 1-2 is doinked out into short left field, and nice play out there at second by Brown for out number 1. Almost no man's land there, but couldn't quite get out there enough. And there's 1 down for Grant Houchin, who has walked and struck out. Ball still over at first for the Indians. So here comes the first pitch to Houchin. Nate takes that curveball and serves it foul. Counts 0-1. Definitely something off speed there. This is definitely a battle of 2 good teams. Aurora 8-9, but 3-2 in Big 8 play. Neither starter will end up with a decision. 0-1 is fouled off, and the count is 0-2. Carpenter, a no decision, 4 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs, 4 earned, 5 base on balls, and 6 strikeouts.
So if we don't score, Sherwood, even though he pitched through 4 innings.
5 innings.
Or 5 innings.
Would have a no decision.
Would have no decision because they scored after him.
The 0-2 is served down that right field
Stay
line.
fair.
That's going to be trouble, and it's just foul.
Oh, that's one of them hits that we need, Ben.
He was late on it, but late enough, almost enough to keep it fair. But he still got a piece to keep himself alive.
Yeah, they've had a couple of those hits, and we need a couple of those hits.
Count remains 0-2 here on Houchin. Comes another 0-2, and that is high, and the count's 1-2. I say high because that's about all it can be. It wasn't outside. So here comes a 1-2. That pitch is spoiled foul, and that one's going to get out of play as well. One's actually going to land on top of the Aurora dugout. 1-2 the count. Houchin doing a good job to stay alive. At some point, can you get a firm contact and get a good hit? Here comes another 1-2 from Creasy. That pitch is hit to third. They're going to throw to second for 1, and he is out at first base. It is a 5-4-3 twin killing, and that will end the inning. For Seneca, nothing doing here in the 5th. We're through 5, tied at 4 on the KNEO Sports Network.
Seneca Indian Athletics is sponsored by Prairie Top Chiropractic. Located at 4556 Quince Road in Seneca, chiropractic physician Seth Wilson offers chiropractic services to Seneca and the surrounding areas. For appointment information, their phone number is 417-776-4556 or discover more at facebook.com/Prairie Top Chiropractic. Prairie Top Chiropractic, where their slogan is Better Health, Better You.
Dairy Queen Grill and Chill in Seneca is the place to go before or after the game. Check out their amazing menu of fan-favorite blizzards like Oreo or cookie dough. Happy hour is daily from 2 to 5 p.m. That means everything you can drink from a straw is half price, excluding premium shakes. Don't forget to grab one of their $7 meal deals or their signature stack burgers and top it off with a Misty Slush. The Dairy Queen Grill and Chill in Seneca, located at 308 Washington, open daily from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Proud to support the Seneca Indians.
Happy Egg supports the family farmer because they've seen the difference a choice like this can make. Now you can grow for Happy Egg and choose to raise hens the right way, the happy way. When you grow for Happy Egg, you're growing for a family-owned and operated business. You're raising happy hens on 10+ acres who will lay happy eggs. You're working for yourself. As a Happy Egg grower, you'll receive new flock cost support and yield-based compensation. Visit happyegg.com/grower to apply today.
A proud supporter of local high school athletics is Numac Electric. Serving Newton and McDonald County, they provide power for area homes and businesses and want to wish all the athletes much success throughout the season. For online bill pay and account information, the website is numac.com or 417-451-1515. Numac Electric, proudly serving Newton and McDonald County, where their slogan is your touchstone energy partner.
Jagger Wilson will come in relief here for Seneca as he will face 7-8-9 Brennan Diaz, Brody Seitz, or it's not Diaz, excuse me. It's Parker Blackburn will come in and bat. He walked his first time, then Seitz and Brown. Drew Sherwood, a no decision, 5 innings, 8 hits, 4 runs, 4 earned, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. Neither starter will factor in the decision here this afternoon as that fastball is outside. And the count's 1-0. If you're Seneca, you want to get through this part of the lineup. 1, 2, 3, nobody getting on as the 1-0 is low and the count's 2-0 because you'd rather face the top of the order in the 7th. Comes the 2-0. That's high. Well, I say that's high, but he calls it a strike. Counts 2-1. Comes the 2-1. That fastball is hit on a couple hops to Roark, plays the hop beautifully, and throws to first in time for the putout. Good job there by Roark, and there's one down for Brody Seitz, who has popped out and struck out. Thank you to Lighthouse Tax Services in downtown Seneca, offering personal and business tax filings for Missouri and multiple states. Sponsor of KNEO Radio and the Seneca Indians. Seitz 0 for 2 for Aurora. Comes the first pitch. That is outside, and the count's 1-0. Brown's on deck. He has reached base both times. He has doubled and walked. Here comes the 1-0. That hits the outside corner, and the count's 1-1. It's basically punch and counter punch here this afternoon, Darryl.
It's what it's been. Neither team is just, being able to get out for any runs at all. Good pitch by Jagger.
Fastball's over the outside corner for a strike, and the count's 1-2. Neither starter will factor in the decision. So the 1-2 is spoiled foul. So we'll do it again. Comes a 1-2. 1-2 is swung on and missed. They have to throw down, and they do to complete the strikeout. There's 2 up and 2 down as Kason Brown comes to the plate. He has reached base both times, and Darryl, the last, say, probably 3 starts for Wilson have been his best of the year. Yeah. He's come in relief a couple times, and I think he likes that kind of closer role mentality, but he only gave up 1 hit and 80-something pitches against Monette in a 1-0 win, and he's come in and closed out a couple games. So the 1-0 is over for a strike, and the count's 1-1.
Yeah, he's pitched well. He doesn't mess around. Just like right now, he's throwing strikes.
So here comes the 1-1, and that's in there for a strike, and the count's 1-2. So Houchin moves to shortstop, Heffron moves to third, Sherwood goes back to center, and Klaus goes to left. as that doesn't matter because that is a curveball in there for strike 3. 10th inning. Nothing doing for Aurora here in the 6th. Go to the bottom half, tied at 4 here on the KNEO Sports Network.
Jesus said, "Be of good cheer. It is I, be not afraid."
Billy Graham.
And in the troubles and trials and bereavements and heartaches of life, he's there. And when death comes to your family, he's there.
And the Bible teaches that there's a day coming when there won't be any kind of heartache for those who've given their lives to Jesus.
More than 300 times in the New Testament it's mentioned that he's coming back. And what a glorious hope we have that there will be a new heaven and a new earth. Till then, we're to be faithful. We're to be the salt of the earth and the light of the world as believers.
When others see how your faith carries you through the struggles of life, it can help them discover their need for Jesus. We can help you learn more about trusting Jesus at this website. It's findpeacewithgod.net. That's findpeacewithgod.net from the Billy Graham Evangelistic Association.
The Roper Kia 4-State Sports Report will provide up-to-the-minute scores and highlights from around the 4 states. With ultimate local coverage from all your favorite teams. The Roper Kia 4-State Sports Report, weeknights at 6 and 10 p.m.
Ian Heffron to lead off the 6th inning here for Seneca. Heffron, Prater, and Roark come to the plate. Anybody reaches, Caden Klaus would get an at-bat as well. You'd love to roll that lineup over to the top of the order for the 7th at the worst. So that first pitch is outside, and the count is 1-0. Creasy begins his 2nd inning of work here for Aurora. As here comes the 1-0 to Heffron. That's swung on and missed on the off-speed pitch, and the count is 1-1. So here comes the 1-1 from Creasy. That pitch is dribbled on the ground. Second baseman makes a nice play there. That's Cole. Fields it and throws to first in time for the putout. As Asher Prater comes to the plate, Prater has grounded out and walked. 1 out here for Prater. You would have to think, Daryl, if he's able to get on, you would have a straight switch in the Ryan Owens probably.
Well, you probably have Ryder come in and pinch run for him.
But then you would need a different right fielder potentially, I think, because maybe not, but
no,
because Owens is your extra player. So that 1-0 is in there for a strike, and the count's 1-1. I don't understand all the ins and outs of all this, but he's got to reach for it to become a factor. So the 1-1 is in there for a strike. And the count now 1-2.
Yeah, gotta swing the bat now. If it's close, you gotta swing the bat.
So here comes the 1-2. That breaking ball is low and inside, and he's worked it to 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 1 out here in the 6th. Here comes the 2-2. He's able to foul it off Blackburn and keep himself alive.
Yeah.
And Blackburn looks like he's okay, as he'll see. Prater will see another pitch.
See if we can't hit the ball going outside on him now.
Here comes the 2-2, and that breaking ball is swung on and missed for strike 3. Set up outside and went inside and jammed him. Missed the spot, but I think it was a strike anyways. So Roark comes to the plate. He singled his last time. He's 1 for 2. So here comes the first pitch to Roark. That pitch is fouled straight back. This counts 0-1. You'd love for Roark to get on and let Klaus come to the plate, so you'd have the top of the order due up in the bottom half of the 7th. This count quickly 0-2 here on Roark.
2 foul balls. He's just been underneath both of them. Both of them is going to left field.
As here comes the 0-2 from Creasy. That 0-2 is low. And the count now 1-2. Northwest Arkansas Naturals return home to Arvis Ballpark on Tuesday night, May 6th, as they begin a 6-game homestand versus the Wichita Wind Surge. Goes through Sunday, May 11th. Ticket information, nwanaturals.com. Supporter of high school baseball here on KNEO, as that one is rolled over to the first baseman, Carpenter, and will end the inning. Nothing doing for Seneca here in the 6th. We head to the 7th, tied at 4.
If you're a weekend warrior who likes to go, 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 don't let pain put the brakes on your pace. When you need help with an injury that keeps you from moving, you want an orthopedic team with a proven track record. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is nationally recognized and were recently named CareCheck's #1 hospital in the market and top 10% hospital in the state for hip fracture repair. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, the experience you need to keep pace with life.
Prater's Pharmacy in Seneca is a proud supporter of the Seneca Indians. The pharmacy is open from 9 to 5:30 Monday through Friday and from 9 to 1 on Saturday. They offer an automatic refill program and internet refill service online at praterspharmacy.com and through their mobile apps. They also have a drive-through window. Prater's Pharmacy at 1711 Cherokee in Seneca, 417-776-8701. Go Indians.
Sean Creasy will lead off the 7th here for Aurora. It'll be the top of their order. Creasy, Mooneyham, and Holland. Holland 2 for 3, and he has 3 of the 4 RBIs. Sean Creasy has the other one. Creasy, a double and a triple. He's also struck out. So that first pitch is nubbed to first, and Ginger is just going to tag the base runner, Creasy. So 1 pitch and 1 out there as Memphis Mooneyham comes to the plate. He scored the tying run in the 5th with the double. He's 2 for 3. He's also singled and popped out to short. They wanted to ask the home plate umpire to confirm that Ginger tagged him.
Yeah.
Comes the first pitch from Wilson. That ball is blooped over Heffron's head at third base. It's a 1-out single for Mooneyham, and the go-ahead run is on base as Max Hollins comes to the plate, who's 2 for 3.
That's one of those hits, Ben, just outside of our reach, just bloop. That's the hits we need.
Keep up on the latest Seneca broadcast ball game schedule. Be sure to like us on Facebook, facebook.com/KNEO Radio. Follow us on X, KNEO 917 Sports. Holland, 3 of the 4 RBI on the afternoon. See if Mooneyham tries to steal second at some point. So that first pitch is low, and the count's 1-0. Heffron about even with the bag at third. Those seeing eye singles, that pitch is low, and the count's 2-0. Aurora is getting some of those seeing eye singles that Seneca is not. 2-0 the count here on Holland. They throw behind Mooneyham, who's back safely. Community Bank and Trust, proudly serving our customers for the past 140 years. You may visit their branch at 1102 South Cherokee. For all your banking needs, member FDIC, an equal housing lender. Proud sponsor of the Seneca Indians. As stealing there is Mooneyham. That was a pretty good throw by Ball, but just couldn't get the tag down in time as Mooneyham had a very good jump. Now the go-ahead run at second. Do you potentially just walk Holland with a 3-0 count and face Carpenter, who's 0 for 2? 3-0 is taking the entire way, and the count now 3-1. Go-ahead run is at second for Aurora. They have not had a lead since it was 1-0 in the top of the first. 3-1 is hit on a couple hops to Heffron. Tough play, going to have to fire, and they call him out. What an excellent throw by Heffron. They're going to want to talk about it, but I don't know that they're going to overrule it. The head coach for Aurora is going to talk about it, and they may see if they want to have the home plate umpire be a part of that, but I don't know that the home plate umpire is going to overrule him. But we'll find out. That was a tough play, and Heffron fired it off about as fast as he could.
It was a bang-bang play right there at the same time. You know, it could have gone either way.
It'll be first and third with 1 out or third with 2 outs.
Maybe he was talking to see if he came off the bag, but I don't think Hagan came off the bag.
And they're going to say that he is still out. So it's 5-3 put out. But now you got to be wary of a pass ball wild pitch. That allows that run to come in and score. Everyone at the Neosho Daily News wish the Seneca Indians good luck. Let's go get that win. Now if you're Wilson, can you get out of the inning as that fastball is in there for a strike and the count's 0-1. Mooneyham has been a problem for Seneca all day, and he's the go-ahead run. It's the 0-1 breaking ball hit on a couple hops to Heffron. Going to throw to first, and he fires a fastball in time to end the inning. For Aurora, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. Seneca needs 1 win to win it here on the KNEO Sports Network.
At ProLube Tire and Auto Center, we know what it means to rely on your vehicle. We race all year and know how to get that extra inch out of every part. Precision, quality, and reliability are not just words to us. It's what we do every day. We know you rely on your vehicle to perform for your family. From oil changes to full-on repairs, ProLube gives you the best racetrack team experience, so you can be worry-free.
ProLube Tire and Auto Center, where we get it right on the road and the track.
Seneca Indian Athletics is sponsored by Prairie Top Chiropractic. Located at 4556 Quince Road in Seneca, chiropractic physician Seth Wilson offers chiropractic services to Seneca and the surrounding areas. For appointment information, their phone number is 417-776-4556 or discover more at facebook.com/Prairie Top Chiropractic. Prairie Top Chiropractic, where their slogan is, better health, better you.
Klaus, and then the top of the lineup in Sherwood and Wilson. Anybody who reaches ball would come to the plate for Seneca here in the 7th inning. Klaus 0 for 2. Then you have Sherwood, who's walked 3 times, and Wilson, who's 1 for 3. Against Creasy, who begins his 3rd inning of work. If you're Klaus, see if you can bunt your way on potentially. I mean, the first baseman's way back. And the third baseman may be thinking that because he's at the cut of the grass.
He's creeping.
It's the first pitch to Klaus, and he takes a called strikes. Counts 0-1. He may have been thinking what I was thinking. 0-1 the count here on Klaus. It's the 0-1, and that pitch is yanked foul down the third base line, and the count quickly 0-2.
I was going to say, you fake that bunt or whatever, and it brings that third baseman in, which restricts his ability to, how much he can cover.
Here comes the 0-2 from Creasy, and that's a high fastball swung on and missed for strike 3, and there's 1 down. Sherwood has reached base all 3 times. He has not scored, but he has walked all 3 times.
Yeah.
We'll have to see what happens here. With 1 out in the inning. As here comes the first pitch from Creasy. And he's taking, and the pitch is low. Counts 1-0. Sometimes all you can ask for is an opportunity to have that go-ahead run on base.
Any way you can get it on there.
The 1-0 is in there for a strike. The count is 1-1. Creasy and Wilson are going to probably be the pitchers of record here this afternoon. The 1-1 hits the outside corner, and the count now 1-2. And Sherwood going to step out for a second, collect his thoughts.
Yeah, he's got to protect now, 1-2.
Here comes the 1-2. And that's swung on and missed for strike 3. And there's 2 down for Jagger Wilson, who's 1 for 3 as a bunt single. He's also struck out and grounded out. That is the 3rd strikeout for Creasy. So here comes the first pitch to Wilson. That breaking ball is popped a mile high in the air. The second baseman calling for it, and we are headed to extra innings. Tied at 4 here on the KNEO Sports Network.
The greatest need in America at this hour is a great spiritual awakening.
Billy Graham talking about the power of media to share the gospel.
What a glorious opportunity it is to have at our command such instruments to minister to the moral and spiritual needs of a nation and of a world that is crying for what we can deliver.
In his 7 decades of ministry, Billy Graham used TV, print, radio, internet, and other media to tell people about Jesus Christ.
We have the message. We have the ideal tool, broadcasting, to restore the meaning and purpose of life and to bring millions to a commitment to the one who said, I am the way, the truth, and the life.
Are you sharing your faith? You don't need a cable channel or a radio station to do it. Learn how at findpeacewithgod.net. That's findpeacewithgod.net. We're the Billy Graham Evangelistic Association.
A proud backer of the Seneca Indians is Campbell Biddlecombe Funeral Home of Seneca. Located at 1101 Cherokee, they are honored to serve the area with traditional service options, including church and graveside services. They also have prearranged funeral plans. For more information, the phone number for Funeral Director Mike Steele at Campbell Biddlecombe Funeral Home of Seneca is 417-776-2251 or online campbell-biddlecomefh.com.
Caden Cole to lead off the 8th here for Aurora. 5-6-7 coming to the plate here against Wilson as Wilson fires in a fastball. Counts 0-1. Cole 1 for 3. Gillum 0 for 3. And then Blackburn 0 for 1. So that pitch is outside and the count's 1-1. Blackburn reached on a walk in the 4th inning. So here comes the 1-1 to Cole. That's high. And the count's 2-1. Anytime you can get the go-ahead run on, you love your chances regardless of the team. The 2-1 fastball is in there for a strike, and the count is 2-2. Aurora had the go-ahead run at 3rd in the 7th, but couldn't score. So the 2-2 breaking ball is poked out to left. Klaus went out, now comes in, and a sliding catch out there and left by Caden Klaus.
Good catch right for Klaus out there coming in, charging in there, had to slide down on his rump to catch it, but it's a good job.
His first step was backwards and then was able to go forwards and get it.
Well, it was hit right off the end of the bat, so it didn't have a whole lot on it, and he had to adjust to it.
Carson Gillum comes to the plate. He's 0 for 3. He's thinking about trying to bunt his way on. He's going to bunt it to Heffron, and Heffron can't get the throw off. A one-out single as Heffron was playing back, and that's what we're talking about, Darryl. Any way you can get on. One-out base runner as Diaz comes to the plate. He grounded out to Roark his first time up. Or excuse me, that's Blackburn. I keep on forgetting. It's Blackburn, not Diaz. And we'll see if Gillum tries to take second. Get that go-ahead run into scoring position.
They may want to bunt him over too. I don't know.
Blackburn is going to square and bunt. It is a good bunt. Wilson going to throw to first. It's a 1-3 put out. It does allow the runner to get to second, but Seitz is 0 for 3, and he struck out against Wilson his first time up. So that's kind of an interesting decision there.
Well, I mean, I don't know what Blackburn, what he was.
He was 0 for 1 with a walk. And they actually, nope, it is Seitz that's going to.
Yeah, so I don't know if he just go ahead and sacrifice him take the bunt out. But
yeah, I don't know. I mean, Blackburn was 0 for 1. He walked his first time in the 4th, but grounded out to second in the 6th. Seitz 0 for 3. He has struck out against Wilson. He has struck out against Sherwood and popped out to Roark at second as well. 2 outs here in the inning. Again, Wilson, can you strand a runner in scoring position? First pitch to Seitz. Half-hearted swing and misses at the fastball. The count's 0-1.
It was up and in on him. Thought maybe it might have been a curve coming down. And
as here comes the 0-1. That fastball hits the outside corner. The count quickly 0-2. Seneca will have the heart of their order due up in the 8th, 3, 4, and 5. Here comes the 0-2 from Wilson. And he yanks that fastball, and they have the runner potentially caught out at the plate, and they do. It is a 2-6 putout. It was a late read, but they're able to get the putout to end the inning for Aurora. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. Bottom of the 8th coming up, tied at 4.
Singing is my career and my calling, but I'm also a mother of 4.
And as entrepreneurs, we weigh the cost of every decision.
Medical bills are no longer a worry for our family, so I can focus on my calling.
And our family.
Joining Christian Healthcare Ministries was one of the best decisions we ever made. We're the Blair family, and this is our CHM story.
Choose your doctor without network restrictions, all at an affordable price. Enroll anytime at chministries.org/enroll.
I am a Missouri Farm Bureau insurance agent, and I'm here to talk about life, your dreams, your work, your family, and how you can protect it all with a company that will talk to you with the honesty of a farmer and take care of you with the integrity of a neighbor. I'll make sure no detail is left uncovered so your family can breathe easy. Because just like you, I chose to build a life in Missouri too. I'm a Missouri Farm Bureau insurance agent, and I'm from Missouri for life.
I am Josh Dotson with Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance Services. If you're in Missouri, I'm for you.
The Seneca R7 School District is proud to support the student athletes and coaches competing in this game. High school activities help students learn life values such as hard work, dedication, and teamwork. The Seneca R7 School District is honored to serve such a great community and wants to thank all the Indian fans for their great support. The Seneca R7 School District. Tradition, pride, class.
Silas Ball to begin the bottom of the 8th, and it is a safe and infield single for Silas Ball. That was about as slow a roller as you could get. Brown did everything he could, and a good job there by Ball to beat it out, and we'll see if we have a courtesy runner here for Ball.
Nothing's coming out, and Coach ain't making the move, so he's going to stick with Silas.
Ginger comes to the plate. He's 2 for 3. They're kind of expecting a bunt, but I don't think you bunt with Ginger. And he is going to square and fouls it off. Counts 0-1. You're wanting to put that game-winning run at second with less than 2 outs.
Yeah, if you're called to bunt, you got to do your job. Lay the bunt down.
0-1 the count here on Ginger. Third baseman is creeping in. He's squaring early. Here comes the 0-1 from Creasy. And it's foul. Counts 0-2. Now he's going to have to square away, and somebody probably not used to bunting trying to bunt, but like you said, you just got to do your job.
Yeah, and if it's a ball like that one was, pull the bat back and let it go by.
Or let it hit you.
Yeah, either one.
0-2 the count now on Ginger.
Now you got to protect because you're 0-2.
Comes the 0-2 from Creasy. That pitch is golfed down the left field line. A long ways to go for the left field, and he drops it in fair territory. So the runner will be at second. It's an E7 on the play. That allows runners to go to first and second as Grant Houchin comes to the plate. That's a tough play for the left fielder, Guido, but, Daryl, I think you have to call that an error.
It hit his glove and bounced off. Actually, he overran it a little bit. I mean, Hagen just got underneath it, hit it where he wanted to, but he got underneath it and let it up in the air too long, and the left fielder just bounced off his glove.
We'll see if Houchin squares here. The winning run is at second. He does square, and the ball gets by the catcher, and the winning run is now at third on a wild pitch.
Still no one out, Ben.
So now if you're the coach, do you intentionally walk Houchin to get to Heffron? Heffron has a 2 RBI single. And that one, I think he overthrew trying to see if he would, on the bunt play, to see if he could get him to swing at a ball. So runners at second and third here, nobody out. And the winning run would be unearned due to the left fielder, unfortunately, if you're Aurora, not being able to field the ball.
Yeah, I know the left fielder's sick right now just because he knew he had an out. And like I said, we needed one of those hits to just get down. And Hagen's hit, just like I said, he got underneath it a little bit. He hit it where he wanted to, right down the left field line. He just got underneath it a little bit.
Now if you're ball, how aggressive are you? Pass ball, wild pitch. 1-0 the count here on Houchin. And obviously the infield has to come in for Aurora as Creasy going to step off.
Yeah, everybody's got to be down. I mean, this could be a suicide squeeze. I don't know if he can lay a bunt down. You never know.
I don't know if I would go suicide squeeze. I might go safety squeeze. So here comes the first 1-0, and that's fouled off. The count's 1-1. And Ginger knows that there's no one around him, so he has a ginormous lead at second base.
Well, his doesn't count.
And so if they do potentially, get that out at home, he wants to make sure he's at least at third.
Right, absolutely.
And there'd still be less than 2 outs, you're hoping. Because you see how big a lead he has at second.
I mean, the outfielders have got to play in, too.
And there's your suicide squeeze, and it gets down, and that is the winning run for the Seneca Indians. Grant Houchin wins the game for Seneca on a suicide squeeze.
What a bunt.
As he's able to get it down, and ball comes in and scores the winning run for Seneca. You got to give Houchin a base hit on the play because there was no play.
Oh, absolutely.
And so Seneca improves to 15-5 overall. 4-2 in Big 8 play. Aurora falls to 8-10 overall, 3-3 in Big 8 play. The postgame show is sponsored by Crowder College and the Seneca School District after this break on the KNEO and Seneca Indian Sports Network.
Crowder College, your future, our focus. At Crowder College, we have 6 convenient locations in Southwest Missouri and online programs to fit your needs. Flexible scheduling provides a pathway to a career or the opportunity to transfer to a 4-year university in a variety of programs. Cheer for the Rough Riders at athletic events. Use the Missouri A+ Scholarship Program for free tuition and common fees. At Crowder College, your future is our focus. Apply today at crowder.edu.
The Seneca R7 School District is proud to support the student athletes and coaches competing in this game. High school activities help students learn life values such as hard work, dedication, and teamwork. The Seneca R7 School District is honored to serve such a great community and wants to thank all the Indian fans for their great support. The Seneca R7 School District. Tradition, pride, class.
Worldly wisdom says you should do what feels right. We have all heard things like, you do you, and do what you like as long as you don't hurt anyone else. The problem with that is that it ignores what God says is best for us. We do not answer to ourselves in the end. We will all answer before Him. And the only answer that is right involves a personal relationship with Jesus. We want to share all Jesus has done for you and all He has to offer. Call or text us at 888-NEED-HIM.
And we welcome you back for the final time. The postgame show sponsored by Crowder College and the Seneca School District. Seneca wins a wild one here in Seneca. They beat Aurora 5-4. And Darryl, ball gets on an infield single, and then he's able to take second on a error by the left fielder, advances to third on a wild pitch, and then a beautiful bunt by Grant Houchin allows him to come in and score. So, Aurora is a lot better than their 8-10 record, and this could be a very telling matchup potentially come district play.
I got a feeling they're going to see these two teams play it again. Well, they do play again in a week from Saturday.
Yeah,
I believe it is
in Aurora, which you probably you could see the same kind of matchup as well. Sherwood and Carpenter, Wilson and Creasy, all of those pitchers are probably available if they have to play again between these two teams. But just again, a beautiful bunt. And you said, Daryl, watch for the suicide squeeze, and it was a suicide squeeze.
Yeah.
And it was thrown inside, and Houchin was able to get it down that first baseline fair.
Well, it's absolutely perfect bunt. I mean, I understand not, but suicide squeeze there with nobody out. With nobody out, if you mess up and lose one, okay, you're still at third base with one out. So it's a little bit of a gamble, but it's not that big of a gamble.
Well, that one was a suicide squeeze. He was running down the line. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking.
Yeah,
it wasn't that big a gamble to do it with nobody out.
Oh, right.
With one out,
I got you.
There's a gamble. But
I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
because you would still have Ginger at.
You still have Hagen at third.
I got you.
Right, exactly. But great bunt by Grant. I mean, I could see it coming. It's like, it's set up. It's set up perfect if you could just get somebody to execute it. I mean, we did over there with Caden Klaus. Laid down a good bunt over there by Diamond, or against Diamond that time, over there on when we was playing at Purdy, and Grant there just laid it down just absolutely perfect.
I mean, if you're an Aurora fan, you feel for Sean Creasy because he went 3+ innings, only gave up 2 hits. Both were in that 8th inning. The run is unearned, and that left fielder probably feeling a little bit sick there because instead of a runner at first, maybe a runner at second, one out, and then you have to figure out what you're doing. You have runners at first and second, nobody out, bunts, all those kind of things. And then the wild pitch is actually what allowed the runners to get to second and third with less than 2 outs.
Right, and the left fielder, he had to run a long ways. You can call it an error because he touched it. Some people might call it a hit because it was like an extra unnatural, on a play to try to get something on the run and tip off his glove. Whatever. It was a tough play for him out there in left field, and he just couldn't quite come up with it.
Well, a senior came through in a big spot for the Indians in a game that they had to have, in a game that was back and forth. Aurora scored 1 in the first. Seneca answered with 3 in the bottom half. Aurora scored 2 in the third to tie it. Seneca gets 1 in the fourth. Aurora gets 1 in the fifth. And then Seneca finally able to shut him down there in the 8th. And Daryl, don't be surprised come postseason play if Jagger Wilson becomes a closer mentality, because he has that kind of mentality, or I should say closer role, because he has that kind of mentality for the Indians.
Yeah, it doesn't bother him to come in and start throwing strikes. That's what he wants to do, is come in, work fast, and throw strikes.
Drew Sherwood, a no decision for the Indians. 5 innings, 8 hits, 4 runs, 4 earned, 2 base on balls, 5 strikeouts. Jagger Wilson picks up the win in relief. 3. Wrong one, Daryl.
Yeah, I figured that when I grabbed.
Jagger Wilson gets the win in relief. 3 innings, 2 hits, and 2 strikeouts. For Aurora, a no decision for Jaden Carpenter. 4 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs, 4 earned, 5 base on balls, 6 strikeouts. Sean Creasy takes the loss. 3+ innings, 2 hits, 1 run. It was unearned, 3 strikeouts. For Seneca, 5 runs, 6 hits, no errors. They strand 5. For Aurora, 4 runs, 9 hits, 1 error, and they strand 6. Our next Seneca broadcast will be Monday afternoon as the Indians face Branson here at home. 4:30 first pitch, 4:05 airtime here from Seneca. For Coach Darryl Harbaugh, I'm Ben Wolcott saying so long here from Seneca, the postgame show sponsored by Crowder College and the Seneca School District here on the KNEO, Seneca Indian Sports Network.
This has been a live production of KNEO Sports. This broadcast may not be reproduced or retransmitted without the express written consent of KNEO Sports Network. This has been a sporting outreach of KNEO Sports Network, reaching into communities to make a difference for eternity.